Funnel cakes and fried Oreos are a perfect Sparkylicious treat every time. Are you having an event, party, or fundraiser? Call Sparky's to come on site. Remember to follow Sparky's on Facebook or visit SparkySnowballs.com to see where they'll be next.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington.
Can you be quiet, please? Thank you.
Welcome to Pirate Radio Live.
It's me, Nancy Garcia.
Clip. Hey, man, good to see you, brother.
Excitement time.
Clam down! Clam down! Clam down! Clam down!
Pirates are going dancing, baby!
They picked us last. They picked us last. And now we're going dancing. We're going dancing.
How about those friggin' Pirates?
Now live from the Pirate Radio studios in the heart of the Pirate Nation, here is your host, Clip Brock.
Welcome in to a Wednesday edition of Pirate Radio Live. Clip Brock here with you. Wednesday, always a great sports day because we got sports trivia coming up tonight. 8 o'clock at A.J. McMurphy's and a lot of playoff action as well. Major League Baseball. No Pirate Baseball until Friday, and we've got another Pirate loss to recap, unfortunately, on today's show as they came back last night, but fell to NC State, splitting that series 1 game apiece for 2023. We will talk about all that and a lot more today on Pirate Radio 92.7 FM in Greenville, 104.1 in Washington. You can find us on 1250, 930 online, pr927fm.com, and watch the show and be a part of the show on Facebook Live and YouTube. Chandler Honeycutt is like holding his mouth and hand and rabbit's foot a certain way and praying that everything's going good, and as of right now, tis is. So Studio B ready to roll today with Shirley Rhodes and Chandler Honeycutt, and we have a lot of guests for you lined up today as well. We'll talk all things local sports with Ken Watlington, get his thoughts on Pirate baseball, the Carolina Hurricanes, ECU basketball's new additions, and more going on in the sports world with Ken Watlington from WNCT Channel 9 coming up in about 20 minutes or so. At 4 o'clock, Patrick Mason will join us. He was asking questions after the loss last night to Cliff Godwin, so we'll get the recap from what went down last night in East Carolina's 5-4 loss to NC State. Also, I figured now, I've been meaning to do this the last couple of weeks. We're going to do a look at Patrick Mason's preseason over-unders for ECU baseball and see where we sit right now with all these numbers, wins, conference wins, who will lead the team in home runs, Josh Groves strikeouts, all that and more. We did a lot of over-unders going into the year, and we'll get an update on what Patrick said and how that's looking right now, as we still have a little ways to go here in the 2023 ECU baseball season. But today will be a good day to recap that, as the Pirates are in a struggle at the moment and hopefully can get back on track at home, where they've been really, really good when they take on Tulane coming up this weekend. Also on today's show, Jeff Nadu, the big man on campus from Barstool Sports, is back with us to talk NFL draft props, a little NBA, and I want to ask Jeff, we're excited about Bobby Pettiford and Cam Hayes and the moves East Carolina basketball has made this offseason. Jeff's a college basketball guy. Has that news made it up to his neck of the woods, and has it made a ripple? Has it made an effect on him? We'll ask him what he thinks about these ECU basketball moves and potentially what does that mean for the basketball Pirates coming up in 23-24. So we got Nadu coming up. Also in hour number 3, we'll talk to Mark Armstrong, formerly sports TV guy in the Triangle. The last year and a half or so, 2 years, he has moved into another line of work, but is still an avid hockey fan, knows what's going on in the Triangle. We'll talk some Canes hockey with him and little area hoops, things like that, coming up in hour 3 with Mark Armstrong. So a lot of different topics. We'll hit baseball, hoops, hockey, and some football with the NFL draft 1 day away. A lot going on. Great time of the sports year, and we're talking about it all here at Pirate Radio on Pirate Radio Live. Shirley Rhodes is here. Chandler Honeycutt wearing an interesting shirt today. Hello, folks.
Hello, Clipper. It's Wolf Creek.
Shirley's taking a good gander at that shirt as I say
Well,
that.
for a split second, I thought it was a wood duck shirt, but
It's got
not.
that bright orange.
Yeah.
Like the hat
It
that
is,
I have. Chandler, I got a perfect hat for that to top off the ensemble.
A Wood Ducks hat?
Yeah.
I'll take it. But it's a Wolf Creek shirt, and it's a polo that was given to me. So I'll take that Wood Ducks hat, by the way.
And great day to wear a wolf shirt in here, Chandler.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't even think about that.
He didn't think that one through,
That's
did he?
all right. No, yeah, that's all right.
It's a golf course. It's
I
not
know.
representing, and it's orange.
And I'm a big fan of the NWO Wolfpack. There's more than one wolf out there, folks. Calm down. Relax.
Yeah, I mean, it has no affiliation to NC State.
Chandler, could you give the folks a clip strip update? How's it looking here on this Wednesday?
Sure. A clip strip update?
Yeah.
It looks good. Did you shave last night?
Yeah.
You did?
I did.
Because I noticed that there was some, it was starting to blend in with maybe some chin, like some neck hair and stuff.
Yeah.
They were starting to connect.
Yeah.
But the clip strips are back.
Mm-hmm.
I've got to clean up my chin strap.
Yeah. Getting a little rugged over there.
Yeah.
A little rugged. So.
But you're looking good. The clip strips are looking good.
Oh, are you bringing back? I see the accolades here.
That's what you meant by the clip strip.
No, dude. I was trying to give you props for inventing a fun thing, the clip strip.
I'll take credit for that, but I also do want to give off your accolades here.
Appreciate that. All right, Chad Pike is in with us today.
Chad Pike.
Pike, what do you do? Why are you all over the place? He's signing in today from Siler City, North Carolina. He enjoyed attending the game last night. Noticed AT at the game. He always has to talk about Alan Thomas for some reason, but says, unfortunately, we couldn't get a win. Jamie knew the Pirates weren't going to win last night. He said he didn't have a good feeling going into the game yesterday because of the issues we had on YouTube and Facebook. He said it was I love this word, harbinger of bad to come to Pirate Nation. Is that how you say it?
Harbinger, yes.
Harbinger. That's a great word.
Yeah.
A harbinger of bad
you typically use a harbinger of death is what the typical phrase
it's
is.
It's usually negative.
It does have a negative connotation to it.
And in this case, it does because we're talking about an ECU baseball loss, which, Chandler, we watched last night with Pirate royalty.
Yes.
The Cran Man, Marcus Crandall.
Hall of Famer.
Yeah, it was cool to hang out with Marcus and watch. We had Pirate baseball going. We had the Canes. Marcus is a big hockey guy, by the way, from his time in Canada. Knows a lot about it. And his son is actually playing college hockey, right? So,
yeah, I asked him last night before you showed up. I said, big hockey fan, Marcus? And he said, well, my son is actually on scholarship at Colgate University. And I immediately asked him, I said, well, was he born when you were in Canada playing football? And he said, absolutely. And it's like, I guess they live, breathe, sleep hockey up there. And like you learn to walk and then you learn to ice skate in Canada. And that's exactly what his son did. And but he knew a lot about what was going on between the Hurricanes and the Islanders last night. And it was fun watching it with the Cran Man, Marcus Crandall.
We're going to have to expand our horizons when we have Cran Man on the show on Thursdays because he's more than just a football guy. He was flexing hard last night on many different topics. I asked him, I saw Jim Jackson on the television. I said, hey, where'd Jim Jackson go to college? And he said Ohio State, which was correct. The phrase day in the life came up, and he said, like one day in the life of Ivan. And I was like, what the H are you talking about? He said Ivan, and he couldn't come up with so I Googled it up. It's some book that he read. One Day in the Life of Ivan Denisovich. Never heard of it.
Beats me.
Shirley, are you familiar with this?
No, can't say that I know this book.
But you know who does know? Marcus Crandall.
He does. Does anybody out there know this book that I'm talking about? And why does he know it? And why is he so much smarter than us, Chandler?
I don't know, but me and you literally had to tell Marcus, hey, can you pipe it down a little bit?
Dude.
Marcus,
hey,
like chill.
We're just
we understand that you know everything.
We're a couple of common guys just hanging out, watching sports. No need to bring literature into this. No need to flex your brain muscles on us. We get it. You're a smart guy. You can throw a football. You're good. You got a lot going.
You're a Grey Cup champion.
Let's just say by the end of the night, I hated Marcus Crandall.
I did too.
He's got too much going for him.
Yeah. I said, Marcus.
Tell you what, we're going to bring him down a peg tomorrow on the show. We're going to bring him down to our level.
We've got to bring up some stuff that we know that he doesn't know to get back on his level.
No, it was fun to hang out with the Cray Man. In fact, coming up tomorrow on the show, we'll talk to another Pirate quarterback that went up to Canada, Dominique Davis.
Dom Davis.
Going to join us on the show. So we're looking forward to that coming up as we'll have a big football chat for you leading into the NFL draft. Excited for Thursday night.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk to Dominique Davis, and I remember him back in my younger years, and the Hail Mary against Tulsa to Justin Jones, and then he had what? I mean, I guess we could talk about it with him tomorrow about his 26 straight completions against Navy at Navy.
Yeah.
Which was, I think, a record.
Yep.
I do remember that, but yeah, Dominique Davis.
I want to say he broke or tied Aaron Rodgers' record. I think Aaron Rodgers was held that record.
Yeah, so I remember watching that game, and I remember them flashing the graphic on the screen, and it was like he was 24 for 24, and he just could not, he couldn't throw an incomplete pass. But excited to talk about ECU football and other stuff with Dominique Davis coming up tomorrow.
That was the first and only win over Navy until a couple years ago, until the Daffer kick.
Yep, the 56-yarder against Navy with Owen Daffer's 56-yard field goal.
Suffering succotash. Well said, Chandler. Pike says the state atmosphere definitely not on par with ECU. Well, last night I would have taken a W over an atmosphere, but
yeah,
it is what it is.
I did see some.
Look, you can't touch the jungle and ECU baseball atmosphere.
No.
You can't touch that.
I did see some familiar faces in the crowd last night watching it on ESPNU. I saw Josh Thomas. Speaking of Thomas, I saw Alan Thomas. Saw Brian Dilday, some loyal ECU baseball fans.
Did you see Pirate Radio? No, never mind. We saw him where we were. Davis, who went on the show the other day. I was like, because he's always on TV.
No, he was actually enjoying some
he was where we
trivia
were at Tiebreakers.
At Tiebreakers.
Yeah.
Morgan Ayler's trivia at Tiebreakers every Tuesday night.
Always great to hear the voice of Morgan Ayler's, no matter where you are. Eric says, Yo, Clip, enjoyed the interview with Paul Lucas yesterday, but we got to give some love to Chris Creamer. He's been running his sports logo site back since 1997. All right. We'll give him love.
Logo watch.
Look, man, I like giving love. I'd rather give love to hate. So if you want to give some love to anybody out there today, you can chime in on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or 317-1250. Who would you like to give some love to today, Chandler?
My parents.
All right.
Jennifer and Clark Honeycutt. Shout out to them.
I would like to give some love to my grandmother, Betty Lou Brock, today, who was part of, my family, my father, my parents, molding me into a sports fan, big Braves fan, big basketball fan. And I'll show some love to her today.
All right. Well, I'll kind of piggyback off of that with my parents, Jennifer and Clark, for making me the big ECU fan that I am, because when I was born, they were season ticket holders for ECU football. And that happened until my freshman year of high school, or my freshman year of college, I should say. So I want to thank them for making me the big Pirate fan that I am.
Shirley, you want to send some love out to anybody today?
Does it have to be?
It doesn't have to be a human.
No.
You
have a dog or cat or anything?
My question is, does it have to be like sports related?
No, it could be anything, anybody.
Okay.
Why not?
Well, that's for
Chandler.
later.
Let Shirley give some love.
I'd like to show some love to my goddaughter, Chloe Ringer.
I heard she's a real ringer.
Ha She is.
Boy, that was the most disrespectful I've ever gotten in my life.
She said, ha.
That one hurt. Chloe, sending love your way.
Shout out.
I'll see her tonight, actually.
All right, cool. Jamie says, man, I would love to see the Facebook comment segment today. I don't know. Is it too is it? We did it the other day. There was a tinge of fun to it.
Have you looked at some of the comments yet?
No, I haven't looked at any of them. I usually avoid them. I just made it radio fodder the other day because I thought it'd be interesting.
Right, here we go. We got 16 comments, so we don't have much to read off of.
Hold on. You don't just do it all willy-nilly.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We haven't even decided if we're going to do it yet or not.
I say we do it.
Relax. You got a lot to learn about running the show, Chandler. A lot to learn. You know what?
Like what?
I'd like to show some love to you. I don't know, man. I'm just up here talking. I got a mic in front of me. I got to feel it, right? I got to talk. Sometimes I say,
feelings.
I know it did, and I didn't mean that. Some things I mean when I say that, I did not mean at all. Mike P says, there's one thing to know. Yeah, just don't interrupt the host. Look, that's just like a little bullet point tidbit.
Or the producer.
Whoa, he gave you a bad look, Shirley. Mike P said, I'd like to give some love to all the people that smash likes and subs. Love those people, Mike. Thank you for showing love to them. Robert Skipper's doing good. He says, hey, yo, here, look at here, cuzzy. What a guy. Robert Skipper.
A man of many words.
Chandler, you were about to say something a moment ago. What were you going to say?
I was just going to say I want to read the comments solely because there's one of the commenters. His name is Church.
He's going to take us to church.
Take us to church.
Before we do that, Chad wants to send some love out to his parents for bringing him into this world. Also, the crew at Pirate Radio for making his afternoons great. Thank you, Chad. Spread the love. Share the love, everyone. We're sharing love on a Wednesday. Pike says, has Big Guy ever been a guest on the show? That's a good question. I'm sure Troy and Ellerby talked to Big Guy
back in the Live at 5 days?
Yeah, a while back. But
now, define Big Guy, because there's two big guys I know.
There's only one big guy.
There's one I know.
You're talking about
Matt Maloney.
Matt Maloney.
Yeah.
Who's the other big guy?
Oh, I was thinking Brian Smith.
That's Big Daddy.
Big Daddy. Sorry.
And there's no reason.
And I apologize.
There's no reason anybody would want him on the show.
Pringle.
And I apologize to Big Guy for thinking that there was another person named Big Guy.
There's only one big guy.
There's only one big guy. I love me some Matt Maloney.
Atticus wants to send some love out to Tua. Is he in the news?
For what?
Is something going on, or you're not even a Dolphins fan?
Atticus, talk to us, man.
Oh, Atticus, what's going on, man?
We need some context,
Give me
Atticus.
some context, or at least some
As
context.
a Dolphin fan, I need context.
Yeah,
I kind of want to listen. So we're talking about Atticus. If we ever have to find some time to feel, I want to listen to Atticus' fifth quarter call after the NC State game at some point, because that really lifts my spirits.
All right, maybe we'll line that up and play it when Ken's here, if we can get that here in a moment.
We are rolling, Clip.
Pike says the big guy, send him some love. All right, sending Matt Maloney some love.
Matt Maloney, baby.
On this nice Wednesday. All right. Chad said, this is a joke that, well, Big Dog's over here. He'll get it. Chad said, this one's for you, Glenn. We're talking about big guys a moment ago. Chad said, oh, I thought you were talking about the big guy, Ryback. Yeah, that's who we want to get on the show. Not Matt Maloney, not Brian Smith, Ryback, the big guy.
We do have a lot of bigs around. There's Big Daddy, there's Big Guy,
yeah,
and there's Big Dog.
Yeah.
There's not a big guy, though.
There's not a Ryback.
No, we don't have that guy.
We don't have Ryback. So, yeah, Chad, maybe we'll try to line him up for the show and talk some wrestling.
We don't have a big man around here. Hey, big man.
Coming up today on the show, we have Big Man on Campus. Jeff Nadu.
Weekly guest, I forgot.
Big Man.
There you go.
We got Big Man. We'll try to get Big Guy. How about that? All right, Chandler, you want to do it? You want to go into the comments?
All right, Shirley, we need the music.
Oh.
So we're gonna go into the comments following. I don't agree with this. This is a Chandler move. Actually, it was a Jamie move.
Hold on. We don't have to do it. You are the host of this show.
We can do it.
Don't listen to me. That's just a little secondhand guy.
I just want it known that this was not my idea.
I'm still trying to learn how to run a show. So,
and I don't necessarily approve this idea, but we're gonna do it anyway. Jamie asked for it.
There's a lot of positive comments, though.
Okay. Well, we'll see what we got.
I will start with Jonathan, though.
All right.
Jonathan says, We could not win by looking at strikes the whole game. Absolutely ridiculous.
Ben says, hard to hit the ball if you watch called strikeouts whiz by all night.
Kathy says, that one hurts.
Benjamin says, one word. Imploding. I guess Chandler's not going to say anything, so I will.
I only see a limited amount of comments.
David says, losers. Mac said a bad word. He spelled it wrong.
Oh, no.
He said, bleep. That sucks. Oh, thank you, Mac. Steven says, that 5th run was just a gift and the dumbest ass play in baseball. A lot of cursing going on in the chat. And now for some positive ones. Brian says we outplayed them in 7 innings, 1 bad inning. That's baseball. Church is going to take us to church.
Come on. Amen.
Congregation.
Amen.
We came back from a 5-run deficit.
Come on, baby.
Almost to win. 4 losses in a row ain't good.
Hallelujah.
But 1 2-day weekend and 1 midweek game doesn't define us.
Amen.
Pirate Nation strong.
You.
We have time.
Yes.
Though it be short.
Come on.
To right the sails. Go Pirates. Next pitch.
Preach.
Is this Beetlejuice?
Tales from the Crypt.
Ah, dang it. I'm such a moron. Michael says Tulane this weekend. Let's win 3. Jesse says they didn't want Jenkins Coward to swing. Quite sure they remembered his 3 dingers last game. Maybe it was a bad throw. They crushed us in the 3rd or 4th inning either way. He had a lot of thoughts and we're kind of jumbled up there. All right, I think that's about it. Chandler, great segment that you attributed it nothing to. What's your issue with reading comments?
I couldn't read them, but then I did find a setting where I can read all of them. And then by the time I did that, we had read all of them.
That's not a setting. That is a button that says newest comments, related comments, all comments.
I pressed most relevant, and then it gave me 3 options, which was new comments, all comments, most relevant.
Yep, that's been there the entire time.
And I just now discovered it. I apologize.
That is not a
by the
setting.
time I got to all comments, we had read all comments.
You do not need to take your phone to the Apple store to get that setting installed on your phone.
Yeah, excuse me. What's your name? Steve? Hey, Steve. I'm trying to read some comments, but I can only read like 4 out of the 16. How do you get to all comments? And he looks at me all stupidly and says, like this? Sorry.
It's a new setting that we got to install on your phone.
I'm sorry.
That's all right, man.
I thought we got some good comments in there, though.
Oh, yeah, we did.
Not as good as last time.
Yep.
By the way, let's not push this on me again. Jamie wanted to do it.
Yep.
I said, well, why not?
Yep.
And I also told you before we read them, I said, we do not have to read these. 1, because you are the host of this show, and 2, I'm just in the driver. I'm in the passenger seat.
That ain't true. Y'all,
I'm learning how to run a show, as you said before in the show.
So, what have you learned anything from this first segment?
I learned not to read comments unless there's a lot of good comments.
Okay, all right.
That's a good learning point.
Learning on the job. That's good.
After 7 years,
I'm still learning. Chad says, when you said Tales from the Crypt, it reminded me of Chad. We used to watch that. He said we used to love watching Tales from the Crypt, just not the opening credits. It was very, very scary. Johnny Stats is in. Let's wrap up this segment with Johnny Robertson. The Pirates are averaging. Boy, this is something right here. The Pirates are averaging 10.2 runs per 9 innings at home. That's winning baseball. We'll take those numbers. The Pirates are averaging 3.5 per 9 innings away from home. Well, you're going to have to get some good pitching to win those games.
The stats to consider.
I'm not even done yet, Shirley.
Oh, sorry.
But bring that back in a moment. The Pirates are batting .331 at home. The Pirates are batting .223 on the road. Hit it again.
The stats to consider.
Johnny Stats. Those are eye-popping, and it makes a lot of sense because when you look at the record for this baseball team, 29-12 overall, 24-2 at home, 5-9 away from home. Make that 5-10 away from home because 0-1 at a neutral site. Mm-hmm. Numbers do not lie. This is a great team at home, and 5 games under 500 away from Clark LeClaire.
And this isn't I'm not bringing this up as an excuse, but if you look at the record at home, 24-2, that's 26 games. 5-9 on the road, 5-10 if you want to be exact, so 15 games. The Pirates have played a lot of games at home compared to on the road. They've only got a couple of weekend series left. They got a couple of midweek games against Carolina with a rescheduled game, and then Campbell also in Clark LeClaire Stadium. But I mean, the Pirates have to learn how to play on the road. But they've done good at home, but they have played most of their season in the friendly confines of Clark LeClaire Stadium.
Well, obviously, they'll play the AAC tournament away from home. We would love to play some postseason baseball here at Clark LeClaire. The most recent D1, I believe it was baseball projections, had East Carolina just on the outside looking in because they had the 16 overall seed as Duke hosting a regional with East Carolina the 2. Does that mean East Carolina's practically number 17 pretty much, one spot out? So, which I'll say I don't hate that for ECU's chances to advance, but obviously would much rather have it here at home.
There was a team in that projection in that regional in Durham that kind of gave me nightmares. Do you know what that team was?
Well, no, because I remember Duke. I think I saw Georgia, and who was the 4?
Columbia.
Okay.
Do you remember the Coral Gables regional a few years ago?
I sure do.
Columbia beat the Pirates, I believe, to knock them out of the tournament.
Yep.
So we shall see. Projections are projections, but Pirates need to do business to try to host a regional for, what, the 5th, 6th straight year?
Let's take a break so we can get Ken Watlington in. We'll talk some more Pirate baseball. We'll talk some hoops. We'll talk about everything going on in the world of sports with Ken when we return. Pirate Radio Live here on a Wednesday. Back with you after this.
I'm broke, but I'm happy. I'm poor, but I'm kind. I'm short, but I'm healthy.
Come pop a top at Jarvis Street Bottle Shop. Jarvis Street Bottle Shop is a specialty shop selling craft, domestic, and import brews, along with wine and growlers. Hosting a tailgate? Stop by the shop and grab a keg for your party or event. The Bottle Shop offers monthly beer and wine tastings, featuring rotating NC craft breweries, along with live music and discounts. Stop by the shop Tuesday through Sunday, or check them out on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook.
With over 30 locations across North Carolina and southeastern Virginia, Quality Equipment is your local John Deere dealer, where you'll find everything you need for your next project. Our complete lineup of John Deere lawn and garden, agricultural, and commercial worksite equipment comes with years of experience, expertise, and dedication. We know what it takes to get it done right. Stop by today or visit us online at qualityequip.com.
At US Cellular, you can get one line for just $29.99 with unlimited data, which is good news for you, friendly hermit who shuns society and lives in a cabin all by himself.
Wow, thanks. You know, you'd be surprised how much data a hermit goes through.
Actually, I'm not that surprised at all. US Cellular, built for us. Terms apply. Visit uscellular.com for details.
This is Brandon Tate, owner and operator of Atlantic Wireless, an authorized agent for US Cellular since 1997. Visit atlanticwireless.com to find the store near you. We go beyond the call.
Spring is in the air at your CBD store. Make them your go-to shop for all natural sleep, calm, recovery, and wellness products. Their trusted products are award-winning, third-party tested, and only available at your CBD store. Get 15% off any purchase. Just mention the code SPRING. New gifts and accessories are also in stock. Everything from CBD to charcuterie boards. Spring on by to your CBD store today. Open 7 days a week. Call ahead for pickup at 999-5127. Your CBD store, 420 East Arlington Boulevard, beside Jet's Pizza. Coco's Sports Bar and Restaurant, located in the old Professor O'Cool's location, has daily lunch specials from 11 to 5, including their famous $1 wing special Monday through Wednesday all day long. Coco's has entertainment every Tuesday with country western night and karaoke on Thursday starting at 8. Take advantage of their weekly fresh fruit margarita specials and be sure to try the best Philly ribeye steak rolls in town while you're at it. Coco's Sports Bar and Restaurant, Greenville's Diamond in the Rough. Check them out on Facebook for more information. Go Pirates!
for the latest from the world of golf. Tune in every Saturday morning from 8 to 10 for the Golf Shop Radio Show, presented by PlayGolfMyrtleBeach.com, the golf capital of the world. Hosts Mark Greenhelch and Matt Blanchard talk golf from tee to green and everything in between. If you like golf, you're going to love Golf Shop Radio. Before you tee up, drop on in. Welcome to the Golf Shop.
Greetings, friends of Eastern North Carolina. If you're looking for a great place to work with competitive pay and a multitude of advancement opportunities, Pitt County Schools is hiring. We employ over 3,500 people, and we're one of the largest employers in Pitt County. We are currently seeking teachers, bus drivers, school nutrition personnel, facility staff, custodians, clerical staff, and more. We offer advanced leadership opportunities for our educators and competitive pay for our skilled labor force. If you want to be part of a thriving school system that focuses on educating students, growing our employees, and promoting positive mental and physical health initiatives, we encourage you to become a part of our Pitt County Schools family to help ensure success for the future of Eastern North Carolina. To fill out an application, visit our website today at pittschools.org. That's pittschools.org. And remember, education is truly a team effort. Pitt County Schools. Live and lead.
This is Dale Murphy, two-time National League MVP and number 3 with the Atlanta Braves. And you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
Oh, you gonna take me home tonight? Oh, down beside that red firelight. Oh, you gonna let it all hang out, fat bottom girls. You make the rockin' world go round.
You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by Pirate Water. Get ready to party, pirates. Go to drinkpiratewater.com to find your new treasure. 21 and older only. Pirate Water. Why be yourself when you can be a pirate? Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. The best place in Greenville to unwind after work and have fun is AJ McMurphy's. AJ's has daily food and drink specials and an awesome patio, perfect for some outdoor dining. And there's something for everyone every weeknight, including sports trivia with our very own Clip Brock on Wednesday nights. AJ's has live music every Friday and Saturday with no cover and brunch every Sunday. Make today an AJ's Day. Now let's head back into PRL. Here's Clip.
All righty. How about a quick look at the Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard presented by Da Buck? Ken Watlington joins us.
What's up?
Hey, man. Going into yesterday, there were, I believe, 5 teams with 15 or more wins in Major League Baseball.
Yep.
3 of those teams had the 27th, 28th, and 29th lowest payrolls in baseball. Okay. Those being the Rays, who are off to a tremendous start, the Baltimore Orioles, and the Pittsburgh Pirates.
The Pittsburgh Pirates entered play yesterday with the best record in the National League.
Nuts.
Just as we all predicted.
Nuts, I tell you.
They lost. The Braves won, so they're both 16-8, I believe.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Today, the Pirates will face off against the Dodgers coming up at 6:35. The Braves in action tonight against the team that they absolutely own, the Marlins.
Yes.
Although Sandy Alcantara on the mound, his number is not very good this year. But
very good last year.
Very
won him the Cy Young.
Yep.
And he'll get it together eventually. And for us Braves fans, let's hope it's not tonight.
And the Orioles are playing right now. They lead the Red Sox 6-2 as they are about to head into, well, they're still in the bottom of the 8th. Those trying to add another insurance run. But Baltimore having a great year and trying to wrap up a win today. Patrick Mason is going to be very depressed when he comes in here in 30 minutes because his White Sox not only losing again, but getting blanked as they head to the 9th inning. They stink.
They stink. Not a good time to be on the south side of Chicago.
Is there ever? Maybe. I don't know. Ken, what's new in your world?
Not a whole lot. I was a little depressed over the weekend. Braves had a 4-game losing streak since I last spoke to you, and but they got it going the last 2 nights. So,
they played the Marlins.
Season. You can't get up. You can't get down. I think you'll be proud of me.
Wait, what did you just say?
Yeah, exactly. I think you'll be proud of me. I did not declare the season over when they lost those 4 straight games. So,
well, were you away from Twitter or something? Is that what? I mean, this is very unlike you to say these types of things and act this way.
I'm getting older. I'm getting wiser.
All right, 162 game season.
Long way to go.
And if you look at which you've watched all the games, but just look at their schedule. It is a big clump of wins followed by a large clump of losses.
Yes.
It's very streaky. It's not like back and forth at all.
There are 8 losses. There was a 3-game losing streak and a 4-game losing streak.
Yeah.
And then that one random loss opening weekend to the Nats.
To Mackenzie Gore.
That's
and
right.
the Nationals. All right. Speaking of losses, ECU baseball.
Yeah.
4-game losing streak.
It's tough. It's tough. I mean, I heard you guys talking before I came in about the splits between the home and the road. And I think you're going to find that for a lot of teams in college baseball, that it's just hard to win games on the road. It's hard to win at NC State. A lot of people, even though I guess Clemson did it over the weekend, but it's hard to win a game like last night. And the Pirates are finding out it's more comfortable to be at home. They've been amazing at home this season. What, 24-2, something like that?
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah, and we'll see if that trend continues when they take on Tulane. Our old friend Corey Glore will be in town. And looking forward to catching up with him on Pirate Radio Live before Tulane and ECU take the diamond for a 3-game series this weekend. And just got to get those bats going. And our stats guy, Johnny Robertson, 10 runs a game at home per 9 innings, 3.5 on the road. And, I mean, it's incredible, Ken, to look at these splits.
And I heard you say the batting average on the road was 230-ish or something like that?
Yeah, 331 versus 223.
Oh, so 110. Yeah, that's tough. Look, you want to win at home. You want to take care of business at home, but you have to win some on the road. And if you take the last 4 games away, the Pirates have done okay. They had the Houston series they lost. They lost, at Duke? Or does that count as a neutral site game?
The game, so
I guess Duke's home field is.
No, I think
they're counting that as a Duke home game.
The neutral site game was the one in Fayetteville, I guess.
Yes,
because they even played one at Charlotte,
and that
where
they played downtown at
when they
the
played
Knight Stadium. So I would think that counts as a neutral.
And
site
was
game.
Kannapolis a home game for Queens?
Right,
Yeah.
that's the one I thought, because after the game they flashed up like Pirates win, and apparently that was a road game. I don't know.
No, that was the Queens game was part of a 2-night thing that they did at the Kannapolis Stadium. Queens played ECU on a Tuesday, and Wilmington played Charlotte the next night. So I think that was just a little special thing before the minor league season got started at that stadium. So
But as far
I think that's a neutral site game.
I would think so, but their record's 0-1 for neutral sites. So what about the game in Fayetteville?
So what's the one?
Exactly. We're trying to figure that out. We have 0 answers and a lot of questions here.
And coming up soon, the Pirates are up in Norfolk at the home of the Tides to play Old Dominion. Is that a neutral site or is that an Old Dominion home game?
You know what, folks? We'll never figure it out. We'll never.
It's away from Greenville. The Pirates got to find a way to win some games away from Greenville.
That is.
I think that's the consensus.
The absolute bottom line right now. Speaking of baseball, I want to bring this up. Well, a couple of things. Congratulations, Gavin Williams, moving up to AAA after just dominating in AA. So that is fantastic.
With one of the great names in minor league baseball, the Akron Rubber Ducks.
Yes, and very cool hats. I like they have kind of a edgy duck as their normal hat. I like the one they wear with the royal blue, and it's just a bright yellow rubber ducky you would see floating in the tub.
Yeah.
I like when they roll with that one.
Do you have one of those hats yet?
I do not.
All right, if anybody's listening, let's clip a hat.
I
the
need
Akron Rubber Duck throwback hat.
You know what? I need another hat in my life. That'd be awesome.
Come on.
Big news today. I'm reading on, let's see, reflector.com. I thought I was going to be on WNCT and give you a plug there. I'm on reflector.com. Greenville City Council has approved.
That is on WNCT.
I knew I saw it there. Non-binding letter of intent that lays out the groundwork to bring a Coastal Plain League baseball team to Guy Smith Stadium starting next year.
Starting in 2024, June of 24, right after the college season's over. And it would be a lot of fun because these Coastal Plain League teams, when I was in Wilmington, they still don't have minor league baseball in Wilmington. But when I was in Wilmington, they had the Wilmington Sharks. They still do. And it was our alternative for a minor league experience. You know, they got the little beer garden. You got some guys. It's a collegiate summer bat league. All the guys are still in college, so it's not professional. But it's guys hoping to make that leap in the future to professional baseball. And it's a lot of fun, you know. And Guy Smith Stadium's, what a cool environment. And there could be $1 million worth of improvements to the stadium to get it up to the level needed to play in the Coastal Plain League. So I'm excited to see what that would be.
And there's one down in Moorhead. Moorhead City Marlins.
Moorhead City, they play in Big Rock Stadium, a brand new facility, well, brand new in the last 15 years or so. And then you got the Wilson Tobbs that play in historic Fleming Stadium, which one of the old school 1940s, 1950s style stadiums that it's a lot of fun. And I think there's a team in Holly Springs. That's a relatively new stadium. And then there's a couple of teams out maybe in the Piedmont Triad, I believe.
Great names. More hats I'm going to have to get. Holly Springs Salamanders is a cool name. Ashboro Zookeeper is a little too on the nose, but I like it.
True.
I like representing your local business, I guess. Making Bacon, one of the best names.
Is there a Chili Pepper or something like that team?
There is. Tri-City.
Yeah, the Tri-City Chili Peppers. And what Tri-City is that?
I don't know. That's why I didn't bring them up. Where is that, folks? Let us know. I'm sure somebody out there listening knows. So Greenville would be a part of this somewhere. I don't know if a team is exiting. So the Savannah Bananas
They left. They're an independent team now, more of a Harlem Globetrotters type situation.
So maybe we're replacing them, I guess?
Could be.
What it would be?
No pressure.
Wait, are we supposed to do that stuff now?
Yeah.
And you wonder, you probably have a pirate or two on that team, you would think. So
I think part of the agreement, too, was if it happens, that the team has to offer an invitation to at least 2 former players that played in Pitt County Babe Ruth.
Oh, wow.
So you get some
That's really
guys
cool
to come home.
Yeah. And hopefully that would get some fans out there as well. And I didn't read further. Would that be at Guy Smith Stadium, I guess?
Yeah, Guy Smith Stadium. And this is the thing.
Ronald Vincent Field.
That's all right. Shout out to RV. This is something that came about maybe 5 or 6 years ago, and they couldn't figure out where to play. And I think there was no agreement between Babe Ruth and Rose and everyone who uses Guy Smith Stadium on a regular basis. They just couldn't figure out how to make it happen. And then it kind of fell into the background, and then COVID happened, and now it's back. And I think all parties have kind of agreed, hey, yeah, we can make this happen. And then it'll be up to City Council. I think May 11th is their next meeting where they're going to actually take some action to see if they want to put the money towards that.
Right.
They need to put about $500,000. Capital Broadcasting, who owns the league and who would own this team, will put another $500,000 down and give you about $1 million to do some improvements.
Yeah, it is pretty cool to have the mayor of the city, the guy that pitched the first game at Clark LeClaire, former ECU baseball player.
Not too shabby, right?
Yeah, you got a sports background. That's always cool. People are talking names. Eric said, do they stick with the heritage name Greenville Greenies or something new? Good question.
Do they make it a pirate-themed type thing, like the Greenville Swashbucklers or the Scallywags, or do they just try to create their own identity, the Greenville Groove? The Greenville
Groove, you say?
I don't know. Just top of the head here.
Groove is in the hood. David says Greenville Keg Standers. Yeah. David also has a very personal question for you, Ken.
Oh,
Can I ask it?
Sure.
Didn't Ken used to go by Watling on TV?
I did.
You want to talk about your name?
I did. So my last name is Watlington.
Yeah. But the TV folks like to change people's names, right?
Yes, and I worked at 2 different stations before I came back to WNCT. They had no problem with Watlington. But when I started here, like, look, we want to shorten your name. We feel it sounds too pretentious.
It does sound very
I am from Washington County, North Carolina. There's nothing pretentious.
Maybe you said it like Watlington.
Hello, I'm Watlington.
Yeah, right.
Thank you for joining us here at 6 o'clock.
But it's not that. It's like, hey, did you see the Watlington boy came over here? Watlington.
So, yeah, they were like, you either shorten your name or we'll find somebody else. And I'm like, well, let's shorten the name.
I love the idea, though, that people are watching at home saying, look at this Watlington guy. He thinks he's better than me. I'm not going to take news from him.
And they gave me a choice, too. You can shorten it to Watling or Watts or Watley. And there was another one, too. I'm like, well, I'm not going to be Watley.
That's not my name, bro. Always interesting when the name change thing in the TV biz. Yeah. It happens.
But then before the start of the year, right around Christmas 2020, we had some new management come in, and they hadn't heard the story of the name change. She was like, so your last name's actually Watlington. I was like, yep. Just like, do you want to use it? do you want to go back to it? Like, oh, can we?
I think you should have gone overboard and been Kenneth Watlington.
Now fourth.
Yeah, right. Throw an I and a V up there. That'll really piss people off around here.
So I could like Ronald Acuna Jr. I could have it there.
Speaking of which, Steven has a joke, and I am going to add on to it and just say for folks like Ken who maybe don't understand how it works so far. So the Pirates are hitting Ronald Acuna at home, and Steven's joke is they're hitting Marcell Ozuna on the road.
They're not that bad. It's not great, but Ozuna's hitting like 67.
Yeah.
Not 167, not 267, 067.
I saw a stat for like most 0-5 appearances this year in baseball, and Ozuna is got like the only person with 2. I want to say he's up there,
and he's only played 4 games.
Right.
He's in the lineup tonight.
Steven says Greenville green beans. Maybe go to our agricultural heritage and also throw a green in there.
The Greenville Green Giants.
Yeah.
Probably, can't get the copyright. That would be kind of cool.
Might be a problem.
Yeah.
What do you think, folks? What should the new baseball team be named, if there is to be one, here in Greenville? Mike P says fancy newsman with his khakis and ties. Not my newsman. Wow.
Actually, I'm not wearing khakis. But
let's take a break here with Ken Watlington. He's one of us, folks. Ken Watlington joining us here on the show. We'll talk more ECU athletics. Want to ask you about the influx of basketball talent
pretty
coming here to Greenville. Talk a little NFL draft as well. Washington in the news, not picking up the option on Chase Young. What does that mean?
I don't like it.
I'll ask Ken. And more to go when we return, Hour 1, Pirate Radio Live after this.
Hey, John, I see your new system's having issues already.
Yeah, I used the other guy with an AC brand I've never heard of.
You should have used Delcor, John. They install Train. It's hard to stop a train.
I know, but the other guy was cheaper.
Cheaper isn't better, John.
I know.
Don't use the other guy. Call Delcor. For a limited time, buy a new Train system and pay 0% interest for 12 months. Visit Delcor.com for more details. Delcor, the service professionals.
Wally's 2 Kettle Corn in Winterville is where you can find the tastiest popcorn around. Make it a movie night at home with Wally's 2 Kettle Corn. They have over 50 flavors to choose from, including classics like cheddar, caramel, and my favorite, better butter. Or try their specialty flavors such as Chicago Style, Wintergreen Mix, and MJ's Cheesecake. Wally's 2 also caters, so if you're hosting a party or event, satisfy your company with delicious popcorn. Check them out on Facebook or stop by and see Wally today on Fire Tower Road across from Sam Jones Barbecue. Wally's 2 Kettle Corn. Make it a poppin' day.
Here with Jeff Stein at Brown & Wood. Jeff, how can you help people with service in 2023?
We continue to offer free pickup and drop-off for the customers, and our customers' time is valuable. So we've added 3 additional Express Lube technicians to reduce wait time. That's our #1 goal for 2023. And please don't forget, we service all makes and models. We're voted #1 in Greenville by the customer. Come see us at 329 Southwest Greenville Boulevard. Brown & Wood, 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 rooftops, and 1 goal to make sure you leave a happy customer.
Bud Light was brewed to be delicious and easy to drink beer, even when little things in life are hard, like when the game is going into overtime, but you have even more time to enjoy it in a fresh Bud Light. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Pick up Bud Light at your local retailer today. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
This is Talbot Green with Integrity Home Mortgage. Are you ready and pre-approved if the home you want to purchase comes for sale today? Integrity Home Mortgage offers a wide variety of programs ranging from conventional, government, and portfolio loans, plus construction and lot loans. Our team of Talbot Green, Braxton Green, and Joanne Weir offers over 50 years of experience.
To get started, call me, Joanne Weir, at 531-1148.
Joanne Weir, in MLS 75974. For informational purposes only, Integrity Home Mortgage Corporation is an equal housing lender in MLS 208516.
Big jobs on big properties demand a big side-by-side. A side-by-side like the first ever Honda Pioneer 1000 Deluxe Crew. This flagship model delivers serious power and performance where you need it most. Even more, it offers best-in-class comfort for 6 occupants with back seat legroom beyond compare. As for build quality, we'll let the Honda name speak for itself. Head to Ron Ayers Motorsports and see the all-new Pioneer 1000 Deluxe Crew today. On approved credit, see dealer for details.
Welcome back to the 2023 Wings Over Draft. Here's what's transpired so far. Clip Rock selected Honey Barbecue Tenders with the first overall pick. At 2, Chandler Honeycutt selected Loaded Waffle Fries. And a blockbuster trade, Shirley Rhodes traded up to get the Chicken Parm Tender Sandwiches 3rd overall. Now you're on the clock.
Draft your favorites today by ordering online at wingsover.com or by calling 758-9464. With no third party needed, Wings Over Greenville has its own in-house delivery service. Wings Over Greenville, your #1 pick every time.
Hey, Pirate Nation. This is Scott Harris with RE/MAX Preferred Realty.
I've been in Greenville over 25 years. I'm a proud graduate of ECU. If you're looking to buy or sell a home, then give me a call today and let me help make your real estate process fun and easy. I keep it simple and explain the process every step of the way. My goals are your goals. There are no long-term contracts, and you always deal with me from start to finish. The right home starts with the right agent. Call me, Scott Harris, at 347-1857. Go Pirates.
Pirate Radio.
We are Eastern North Carolina's football program. In time, we will be North Carolina's football program.
The voice of the Pirate Nation.
Well, I hear the train a-coming, it's rolling around the bend, and I ain't seen the sunshine since, well, I don't know when, but I'm stuck at home.
You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by Pirate Water. Get ready to party, pirates. Go to drinkpiratewater.com to find your new treasure. 21 and older only. Pirate Water. Why be yourself when you can be a pirate? Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Hey, watch all of Pirate Radio's local programming on YouTube Live. You can watch Pirate Radio Live every Monday through Friday from 3 until 6 p.m. And, of course, the Bud Light pregame tailgate in the U.S. Cellular Fifth Quarter on game days. Just go to YouTube and search Pirate Radio TV. Click on that subscribe button, and while you're at it, click on the like button, too. Now let's head back in to PRL. Here's Clip.
Back with you, Pirate Radio Live. Shirley Rhodes, Chandler Honeycutt, Ken Watlington joining us. Ken, I failed to mention some big time news going on in the news world.
Yes.
Anchor world.
Yes.
Openings at both CNN and Fox News coming open. Any interest?
Yeah, both have reached out to me. It was to work, as a janitor, but no, it's a wild world in network news. You never know what's going to happen. But
do you watch Succession by chance?
I haven't, and everyone I know says you're dumb for not watching it. So I'll get around to it. It's about to end, right? This is the last season.
Yes.
Yep. So I'll catch up over the summer.
It is winding down.
Yeah.
All right, well, get back with me when you see that. By the way, Jury Duty, I want people to watch this show. It's on something called Freevee. I know. I don't know what that is either. Okay, you're aware of it, maybe. But
I don't know how to get it.
If you
heard of it.
If you use a Roku or whatever, you can get it for free. You might can watch it on your laptop.
Oh, that's where they had the Weird Al Yankovic movie, right?
Okay, yeah, which I haven't seen, but I heard it's really good.
Harry Potter playing Weird Al, is that what it was?
Yeah, not even the actor Daniel Radcliffe. It was Daniel Radcliffe as Harry Potter playing Weird Al.
I couldn't think of his name. Yes, Daniel Radcliffe, yes.
But Jury Duty is a great show. If you ever heard of the Joe Schmo show?
I haven't.
Man, it's one of these shows where it's all actors except for one person, and he doesn't realize that they're all actors. But it's Joe Schmo was a little bit mean-spirited. This was years ago towards the guy who didn't know. This is very lighthearted, and it's not only very funny, it kind of restores a little faith in humanity.
Okay.
So
I like that.
All right. Let's see. Eric says, "Hey, Ken."
Oh, hello.
My wife grew up in Toledo.
No.
And took me on a tour a few years back. In your time there, did you ever visit the Ye Old Dirty Bird?
Oh, yes.
Or Stubborn Brother Pizza?
Stubborn Brother does not sound familiar. Dirty Bird was catty corner from Fifth Third Field, the home of the Toledo Mud Hens. Popular spot before and after the games for some food and some drinks. So, Stubborn Brothers Pizza. I'll have to look that up.
All right. And he says, I kid you not, the UT marching band. Is that, I guess he's still talking about Toledo?
Yeah, University of Toledo.
All right.
Yeah.
They march through the bars after football games and play, and it's obnoxious.
Yes.
I could see that would be fun, but also like...
Also, too, one thing I found out when I lived there was the night before the Michigan State Michigan game, say it's in Ann Arbor. On the Friday night, as Ohio State's band is making the trip up, they will stop in Toledo and play. And there was a store called the Andersons, kind of like a Walmart grocery store, just home improvement. It was like a Lowe's and a Walmart put together. It was kind of cool. But they would, fans would line up in the store in the aisles, and the Ohio State marching band would come through the store and weave through and play. And then they get back on the bus and go to Ann Arbor.
Interesting. Yeah. And that was annual or every 2 years, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. Jamie's got a name in Greenville Goblins.
Oh, yes, the Goblins.
How about a ghost name? Not a lot of ghost names in sports. Not a lot of supernatural stuff going on in sports names.
Maybe they could get a McDonald's partnership and it'd be the Greenville Grimace.
Yeah, there's the purple. We can rock purple. Exactly. I like it. Not bad. Not bad. All right, Ken, NFL draft coming up. Yes. I'll throw you the question I've been throwing out every guest this week. I'm giving you 100 fake Pirate Radio dollars.
Oh, boy.
You can put that, you have to put it down on a bet, and the bet is over or under 1.5 ECU players drafted in the 2023 NFL draft.
Over.
Okay.
Will be 2, at least.
That has been the consensus, and I'm assuming one of those is Keaton Mitchell.
Yes.
And the other you're feeling decent about is Holton Ahlers. Okay.
Yep. Look, Holton is too experienced. He's too big. He's too durable. He's too smart to not make somebody's roster. He's too much of all of those things for all of these teams, at least one of them, to take a chance. They'd be smart to.
Well, you said something that making a roster and being drafted don't necessarily have to coexist.
You're right. So maybe I'm getting ahead of the horse.
But he will definitely be, and man, I continue to say this, his stock has risen so much from when he beat Coastal Carolina. Like, since then, his stock has even gotten higher.
He had, the great, postseason stuff, the Senior Bowl type of things that he did well in, and I'm sure, he's been on visits to certain franchises and made a great impression. So it's a guy, he's going to be on an NFL roster next season.
Yeah.
Does it come via the draft? Does it come via free agency? We'll know in about 4 or 5 days.
Jamie says Holton is going to make some noise similar to Garrard. Now, Garrard was a what round pick? 4th or earlier? Let's look it up.
I was going to say 2nd, but then that probably sounds...
2nd could be correct. I was being very careful. 4th. I'm a genius.
You are a genius. Never doubt Clip Rock.
108th overall out of East Carolina. He was a 2009 Pro Bowler.
Yeah.
If I had to bet, I'm going to say Holton Ahlers doesn't make a Pro Bowl. But you know what? I hope Holton hears that and uses that against me and makes 2 Pro Bowls.
Daggone Clip Rock, I'll show him.
Jamie wants the Colts to draft Ahlers as a 2nd quarterback. All right. We got some more names. Newton says the Greenville Rebels or the Greenville Patriots. Probably Rebels is a name leaving sports, not entering.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to convince a city council probably to do that.
Eric says the Greenville Groundouts. That would just not be a good. Let's go Groundouts.
You can't do Grasshoppers because that's Greensboro.
Yeah.
Groundhog?
Yeah, could do that.
I feel like there's a minor league team that's a groundhog.
Any other G animals out there? The green snakes.
Gremlins.
Once again.
Yeah.
You're,
Spielberg ain't letting that happen.
I want you to take all your names that are copywritten to the board and say,
good luck.
There used to be a Greenville Braves.
That's right. South Carolina.
Yeah, but not in Greenville, North Carolina. Greenville, South Carolina. All right, we are running out of time. Have we accomplished anything today, Ken?
We talked about sports. We talked about my name. It's a pretty good day.
I mean, what else do you want to talk about? When can we see you again on the telly?
Tonight at 5:30, 6, and 11, WNCT.
All right, so a full day of Ken Watlington action.
I apologize in advance.
WNCT, Channel 9. Canes lose last night, Ken, trying to wrap it up on the road coming up on Friday. We got to wait an extra day this time.
Got to wait an extra day. I got a feeling we're headed for a Game 7 Sunday in Raleigh.
Yeah, could be. Do we have a time on that one yet, if it is to be, or would that be?
I have not heard. I think that'll come out later.
I don't enjoy when the Canes play the Sunday early games. It seems like we play those a lot. And they won this past Sunday, so maybe it'll be good. But.
And they played a Game 7 in the first round against Boston last year in the afternoon. They won that. And then they played one a couple of Sundays later against the Rangers in a Game 7, and they lost that one.
Okay, so I thought you were going to say one again, and then I was going to say, all right, bring it back. But all right, we'll have that for you when it is, if necessary. Maybe they can close it out on Friday.
Exactly. Yep.
Ken, thanks for joining us, man.
Yeah, buddy, appreciate you.
Always have a good time.
Yep.
All right, we will take a timeout. Come back, hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. I have in my hand the over-unders that Patrick Mason projected before the ECU baseball season started. We'll take a look and see how these are going, and also recap ECU, NC State, that and a lot more on the way after this.
Well, that train keeps a-rolling down on the San Antonio.
The
Buccaneer Music Hall is your beacon of music in the land of the Pirates. They're open every day and have live music every night, along with 18 big screen TVs to watch all your favorite sporting events. Tuesday, it's karaoke with DJ Captain Morgan. Wednesdays, it's line dancing. Thursday night is the dance party with DJ Kid Scene. And live music every Friday and Saturday night with the best bands on the East Coast. Follow the Buck on Instagram for more information on scheduled events, and we'll see you at the Buck.
Hey Pirate Nation, Lindsay Gray here with Carolina Caliber. In 1960, my granddaddy started his firearm business right here in Eastern NC. Still family owned and operated, we have the area's largest selection for outdoor shooting sports and accessories and are one of the nation's top firearm dealers. At Carolina Caliber, we have everything you need from hunting, home defense, and personal protection, including a wide variety for ladies and youth. We buy, sell, and trade. It's a time-honored tradition. Visit us at Carolina Caliber on Fire Tower Road in Winterville.
This is Aaron Williams with Ease Plumbing.
This is Mike Hoggart with Viva Electric.
This is Mark McGlawhorn, Roland Black Heating and Cooling.
We have teamed up to form New Blue Service Group, offering Eastern North Carolina the best in plumbing, electrical, and HVAC services. Same great local team, same great local service, just a new name. Contact us at callnewblue.com. That's callnublue.com. New Blue Service Group, where we are redefining service excellence. Call us today to help with your plumbing, electrical, and HVAC services. Go Pirates.
At Papa John's, we start with better. Like our fresh, never frozen dough made from 6 simple ingredients. And our dough can save you dough. Get 2 or more Papa Pairings favorites for just $6.99 each. Order now on the app from Papa John's.
Hey, Pirate fans, Papa John's is the MVP move for game day or any day. Place your order online at papajohns.com and sign up for Papa Rewards. Papa John's, better ingredients, better pizza. Go Pirates! Your vehicle is a big part of your life. That's why you should trust the team at Greenville Auto World for all your vehicle needs. Greenville Auto World believes in fair prices, superior service, and treating customers right. Visit greenvilleautoworld.net to see their fully stocked inventory of SUVs, trucks, and cars. Need a lift kit, custom rims, or wheels? Greenville Auto World can upgrade your vehicle today. For sales or service, visit Greenville Auto World on Highway 43 in Greenville.
The convenience of Pitt Greenville Airport is waiting just outside your front door. Service is back, so you're connected to destinations worldwide through flights from American Airlines. Plan your next trip. Book your flights today at flypgv.com or aa.com.
Avoid the long check-in lines and congestion at the big airports and fly local at PGV. Fast, convenient, and close to home, PGV has American Airline flights perfect for your next trip. Book today at aa.com. PGV, where the Pirates fly.
I'm Michael Vaughn with East Coast Grading and Utilities. Many of you know my dad, David Vaughn, and his work in putting in subdivisions all over Pirate Nation. But East Coast Grading and Utilities is not just for those type of big jobs. We're here for the homeowners. Whether it's concrete, driveways, hauling rock, or sand, whatever you need, East Coast Grading and Utilities can get the job done. Call us at 252-531-7494 or check us out on Facebook at East Coast Grading and Utilities.
Do you ever talk to yourself about where to eat today, and then you hear
Warren's Hot Dogs?
Then you're thinking, yeah, 2 hot dogs, chips, and a drink for only $6.25 would be awesome.
Warren's Hot Dogs.
And maybe some homemade lemonade, perhaps a pizza or a sub, and definitely an apple or peach turnover.
Warren's Hot Dogs.
Don't overthink where to eat today. Go to Warren's Hot Dogs in Greenville across from Ron Ayers or in Chocowinity next to the fire station. Warren's Hot Dogs, serving the Pirate Nation since 1991. Go Pirates!
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 at 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by University PC Care, your local tech support experts for all your business needs. Let University PC Care take care of it so you can take care of business. Visit universitypccare.com to learn more today. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Country Mart has been locally owned and operated for over 40 years and is your premier country store serving the best cheese biscuits and country food around. Country Mart is open every day and has 2 locations in Bethel on Highway 11 and in Stokes on Highway 903. And both locations are top-of-the-line fuel stations serving Shell gas, including 93 ethanol-free high-octane gas. Country Mart, fueling you up with great food and your engines with great gasoline. Now let's head back into PRL. Here's Clip.
All right, talked about Gavin Williams getting promoted to AAA. Congratulations also to Bryson Worrell going from the Florida Complex League, playing with the Braves organization down there in Florida, to the Mississippi Braves, getting the bump up to minor league baseball. So congratulations to Bryson.
And congratulations to a couple of Pirate pitchers. Yesterday they faced each other. Well, their respective teams faced each other. The Fresno Grizzlies, Zach Agnos got his 4th save of the season for Fresno. He pitched an inning. He walked 1, struck out 2. And then Carson Wisenhunt got the start for the San Jose Giants. They lost to Fresno 5-1, but Carson had an excellent outing. He pitched, let me see if my memory serves correctly, 4 innings, 7 strikeouts, did not walk a batter, did not allow a hit, and he retired 12 of the 13 batters he faced. So another pitcher that we're going to keep a close eye on as far as a possible promotion is Carson Wisenhunt, because he has had several stellar outings this season.
Here's, you want me to bum everybody out real quick?
Sure, why not?
Does ECU beat Texas and go to Omaha with Carson Wisenhunt last year? Yeah. Our next guest is nodding his head yes, and that guest is Patrick agree. Mason. Hey, Patrick.
Hey.
You think so?
I think so.
Man, that sucks. I was hoping y'all would say no. Chandler, did you hear the question?
No, I was fixing because
that's fine.
I just think the shape of the season changes.
I tell you, I have a good excuse. I'm a really good excuse goer. Last week we had his long list of accolades, so I had to delete all that.
Yeah.
And put back Daily Reflector.
Yeah.
So I did miss the question, but what was the question?
Would East Carolina have made it to Omaha if Carson Wisenhunt was on the team playing?
Yeah.
All right, there you go. A trio of reluctant yes.
Way to tank the show, Clip.
Sorry, just popped in my brain. All right, Patrick, we're going to do a number of things today.
I like it.
We're going to talk Pirate baseball, recap last night. We are going to go over your preseason over-unders.
I was just thinking about this the other day.
I meant to do this the last couple weeks and forgotten. So we're going to go over these today and see how they're looking.
Sweet.
And we are going to talk a little NFL draft. We're also going to answer questions from the audience, like this one from Jamie, who says, question for Mason. What's considered an acceptable away record? What's an acceptable away winning percentage?
Maybe around 500.
I'm thinking, above 500. But you asked Mason, not Brock.
Yeah, I would say around 500.
Nobody asked Honeycutt.
No, I just want to know what's the opposite of acceptable.
Unacceptable?
Yeah.
What's an unacceptable record?
I know where this question is going, but I think it's around 500. Just winning on the road is a little more difficult. It's just one of those baseball things right now. I think they're 5-9 off the top of my head on the road.
And then you throw in neutral site, which, by the way, I think we were on to something earlier. We're trying to figure out what ECU game was a neutral site game.
It was that one in Fayetteville against Campbell.
And that was my answer. But what about the one where they played Queens? And after the game, they flashed up Pirates win. Yeah. Did you do that for a road game? Not in my America.
No. But weren't they in Charlotte playing that game? Or
Kannapolis.
Kannapolis, okay.
So that was at the Kannapolis Cannonballer Stadium.
And then Charlotte baseball, we played them in Truist Field, which is the home of the Charlotte Knights. Charlotte baseball has their own stadium. So, I mean, do they count that as their home?
Yeah, but then you can do the same thing with Duke, yeah.
Is it the same thing as Duke, where Duke has a baseball field, but they play a majority of their home games at the DBAP?
My thing is, whatever Queens has for a home field, do you really want to play there? Like, do they even have home field? Like, and they're just finding a spot to play.
I'm just being very kind of picky here and asking the question, why does it say we're 0-1 for a neutral site when technically we've played in at least 3 neutral sites? Although I know Duke counts that, but I don't know. Either way, 5-10 away from home. That's what matters.
Yeah.
It's not good. They have some time.
Could be better.
It could be better. That is true. It also could be worse. Both of those things are factual.
Yep.
Looking at the contest away from home moving forward at Cincinnati, is coming up. Also at Old Dominion, which is at another minor league park, I want to say.
I think so, yeah.
And also at South Florida. And they'll be down in Clearwater coming up for the AAC Championship. So still time to get that road record above 500.
Yeah, Cincinnati's still on the schedule, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Some good vibes there.
If you could relive that magic from when they were here in Greenville, that would be fantastic. All right, so last night, Patrick, 5-4. Much more competitive games than we saw in Wichita. So there's that. The Pirates did come back from a 5-0 deficit. And let's talk about the controversy real quick in the ninth inning. So ball gets away. It almost like the catcher was trying to throw the ball hit the ball into the dugout. But so they say the ball goes in the dugout. Runner does not advance from second to third. Although we did see the catcher go and pick up the baseball. It never went in the dugout.
Right.
So what the hell happened?
I think it's one of the, like in the outfield where if the ball gets stuck under the padding or something like that and they just kind of call it dead. I feel like that's what the umpire rushed to do.
Yeah.
I think that's because the catcher was trying to field the ball and he kind of clumsily hit it into the dugout or into the out of bounds area.
But we see the ball rolling as the play is dead and the ball is rolling outside the dugout. So it's very strange. It's one of those things probably that the coaches go over. Did you ask Godwin about it? Did anybody ask?
I didn't.
The coaches go over the rules before the game and everything, and it's probably one of those, hey, if the ball is in this little area, it's dead. I still think he was rounding. I still think you should be given third on that.
That's what I thought, too, because I think if that doesn't get called, he's at third base 100%.
With
he was moving.
One out?
With one out. I'm pretty sure it was Riley Johnson. He's fast.
Yeah.
And he was definitely going to third. He was taking that extra base. And I think the thing that's most frustrating, it was just a clumsy play by their catcher.
Yeah.
Like he's the one who hit it into that area. But it was a really quick call by the umpire. Right away, that dude was all over it. So, like you said, it must have been a predetermined spot in the field.
All right. We got a soup question. We're not there yet, but I'll get back to that. Also, a minor league hat question for me, Craig. He's on a business trip watching the New Hampshire Fisher Cats play the Hartford Yard Goats. What kind of business are you in, Craig? Do you have either of those lids? I do not. I know I've seen a Yard Goats hat several times. I don't recall seeing a New Hampshire Fisher Cats hat.
They're both awesome names.
Yeah, they are. Very cool. All right, so Patrick, 10 hits apiece last night. I don't know. So we're in this cloud of a losing streak. Everything's going wrong. Let's say we went into that game winning the series against Wichita. We're not happy with the loss last night, but are we coming out of it saying, man, that was a good baseball game, good college baseball game? I don't think people aren't saying that right now because they're pissed because they've lost all these games in a row,
Yeah, so I'm trying to come at it from an objective spot, and just watching this game, it was competitive. I don't think there's any reason to hang your hat, or hang your head. I mean, yeah, they left some guys on base, and they could have had some more timely hits, but they had 10 hits. I mean, they're coming off 2 games in a row at Wichita where they had a combined 5 hits, and that's never happened to them all year. So, I mean, they just played really poorly over the weekend, but this was not one of those cases. I mean, they battled back after getting into a hole, because if you get swept and then you get down 5-0 early, I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of teams that might just go, oh, man, what are we doing here? But no, they battled back. They scored runs in multiple innings, which I think is a good sign. And they had really good relief outings from 3 guys. So I really don't think that the sky's falling on this team. I think it's baseball. You play 50-plus games. You're going to lose a few in a row. Good teams lose. Bad teams win. I mean, it's just what happens. And Wichita State's pretty good.
NC State also can be in that pretty good category.
Yeah, they're just off the top of my head, at least 5 RPI points, maybe even fewer, separating NC State and ECU. So, yeah, I mean, they're a good team. They pitched really well yesterday, and they got hot in 1 inning. I mean, it's, I don't think yesterday is, by any means, as a fan, you should be upset about yesterday.
There is a reason for concern, and that is Trey Savage potentially not being able to go on Friday, Patrick. So, I don't know, any talk about what it's going to look like from a rotation this weekend?
Yeah, that's a good question. They did use a lot of arms yesterday, and, Garrett Saylor pitched, and both Jake Hunter did as well, which are definitely some starters you can throw in there. So I wonder if they just, shift some guys up, if Carter gets moved up, but then you're kind of talking, hey, we're bumping guys up. So, I mean, I don't – if Trey needs a week, if he needs some rest, I think that's fine. Because you just want these guys healthy and ready to go. I'm not saying you're resting guys to get for the season, but hey, if someone needs a blow here, just go for it and try to find your spots to do so.
Yeah, and you think Spivey and Groves will bounce back from last week. It's crazy to see that both of those guys, Groves and Yasavage, suffered their first losses of the season against Wichita State last week.
And that's another reason why, you can be upset you're losing, but the season is not over by any means. Like, there's no reason to really be, to really be down on this team. Your starting pitching lost its first game at the end of April. Guys, this team is fine right now. They're playing well, and yesterday should have showed you that they're playing well. They could still battle. They still got that competitiveness. They're going to be fine.
All right, let's look at these over-unders. So before the season, I threw out a bunch of over-unders for Patrick Mason regarding East Carolina baseball, and he projected how the 2023 season would go. And first thing I threw out was wins, and I said over-under 44.5. And Patrick took the under. Right now, East Carolina sits at 29 wins. Do you know off the top of your head how many games they have left?
I think I looked it up yesterday. I want to say 15.
12, 15.
Not including the tournament.
15. Oh, yeah. This includes everything. So 15 games left to go, 29. They could hit 45 wins if they win the rest of their games in the regular season. That's probably not going to happen. So combining what they have left, conference tournament and postseason baseball, they could still get close to this number and surpass it even. But I think you look pretty good here with your under.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, even if they go 10-5, 12-3, that's entirely possible, and that doesn't quite get them there, but it's close, I guess.
All right, conference wins over under 17.5. You said over. Right now they sit at 7, and basically meaning they need to win 11 or 12 more. They have 12 more, and you could certainly see them going 11-1. But this one could land a little bit under, Patrick.
Yeah, it's definitely possible it can go under. But, they got Cincinnati left on the schedule. Tulane is definitely beatable. There's plenty of teams out there they can still get some wins against.
So still a chance to hit that over. All right, did some individual stats here. I said, will the home run leader for East Carolina have over under 17.5 home runs? You said under. Right now, the leader on the team, co-leaders, Jacob Jenkins-Cowart and Josh Moylan with 8. So that number is looking very safe right now.
Yeah, I feel comfortable about that.
I thought Starman would have more than 6 at this point.
He started out hitting them.
Yeah, and he will. And we're going to see these numbers probably go up. We have had, was it Jake Washer who went off at the end of a year, I believe, and just went crazy. Bryson Worrell did it. So we're going to see 1 or 2, maybe 3 of these guys. These numbers go up, I think, as it heats up.
Yeah, I think, was it last week? 2 weekends ago, Cincinnati. It was hot out there. They were hitting the ball all over the place. I know part of it's your opponent, but when you start getting into May and June, the ball's going to start flying.
Who will lead the team in home runs? You said Jacob Jenkins-Cowart. He is the co-leader, and he's missed time. So good projection there.
Yeah, I think when he plays, he's really good. And it's good to get him back in the lineup.
All right, Lane Hoover, stolen bases, over or under 14.5. You went under. I put out a pretty good number there. I just picked the wrong person. So Lane Hoover on the year has 7 stolen bases. He's 7 out of 8. So he's going to get to double digits probably. But the team leader right now is Luke Nowak, 14 stolen bases. He's going to go over that 14.5. But you look pretty good on Hoover right now.
Yeah, I guess if you just picked the leader to go over that number, I probably would have lost this one. But I guess we didn't know Luke Nowak would have such a large role, and he would just have this sort of staying power and just be a really menace on the base pass.
All right, I went way too high on this one. Jacob Jenkins-Cowart RBIs over under 69.5. You went under. He has 28 right now.
And who's leading the team right now?
Josh Moylan with 40.
Okay, wow. So yeah, Josh Moylan's having a heck of a year.
Yeah, that he is. All right, ECU wins leader, over under 9.5 wins. You took the over there, and right now leading the team in wins, Trey Savage with 6.
That's going to be tight.
It will, but we're including postseason and all this. So
right.
If he returns, and he should. I think he'll get 4 more wins.
Yeah, I think so too. He's incredible when he's ready, or when he's Right.
Garrett Saylor appearances. This was hurt by him being hurt. 36.5. You took the over, and he's only made 12 appearances.
Yeah, that's not going to hit.
Missed a lot of time.
He did.
Leader in appearances this year, Wyatt Lunsford-Shinkman with 18.
Okay. So they're spreading it out more.
Danny Bill, 16. Zach Root, 13. Richie, 14. So you've got a lot of guys with double digits. You've got, 5, 8, 11 Pirates with double digits, and then you've got Landon Ginn with 8, who he would have more if it wasn't for him missing action earlier. So you're going to have a lot of guys in double-digit appearances.
Yeah, and that's something they definitely lacked last year.
Josh Groves strikeouts, over under 77.5. You went under. Josh Groves on the year has 62 strikeouts already.
So he's going to go over.
He is going to go over.
He's really been just great on Sundays.
Trey Savage, by the way, 82 Ks already.
Yeah, he's been a leader in the nation for that in a little while. I don't know if maybe the past week or two kind of came back down, but yeah, he's been up there against anyone in the country.
Starman home runs. I think you're still going to be wrong on this one. Over under 9.5. He took the under. Somebody's going to go off here, and I feel like he's got a chance to do it.
He definitely has the power to do it. If he squares up a ball, it goes a mile.
Josh Moylan disrespect. I said batting average. Will it be more like a freshman Moylan or a sophomore Moylan? Over under 275. You took the under.
I did.
Now he has gone down because he was right near above 300. Right now he's hitting, though, at 293. So he would have to go on a major Wichita-like slump.
And I do not see that happening. He's been great all year.
Awesome season for him.
Yep.
Trey Savage wins over under 5.5. You said over. He's already over.
Yeah.
And Cliff Godwin ejections over under 1.5. You took the over.
I think we've hit. He's had at least 2 or 3.
You say, all right, Honeycutt says 2. So you hit that one. So I'd say overall, Patrick, you're not doing bad with your preseason projections.
Yeah, I think I'm feeling pretty good about these.
Part of this, too, is how bad did I do setting lines?
Just an expert bookmaker.
My Savage win line was way off because he's already gone over here at this point. My JC RBIs was way off.
But just about everything else has been pretty spot on.
I did pretty decent on everything else.
Straddling it pretty good.
Myself a few props here. All right, let's take a break. Props.
Look at us.
Props. We'll take a break, come back, more to go. We're getting more name entries in on what you would want the Greenville Coastal Plain League called. Got that news. We'll talk about that a little bit with you, but got some more names coming in. And more of your questions, comments, concerns, birthdays, anniversaries. Oh, I forgot to ask Ken. We'll ask Patrick who he wants to send some love out to today on this Wednesday edition of Pirate Radio Live. That and more on the way when we return after this.
Every boy and every girl, closing time, one last call for alcohol, so finish.
Jeff Stein, our special guest from Brown & Wood. Hey, Jeff, electric cars are coming. What's that mean for Brown & Wood customers?
For the customers, like it or not, EV is coming. We've installed 5 electric vehicle chargers here at the dealership. We have the all-new Cadillac Lyric coming at 1st of 2024, and we've just seen the first reservation for the new Sierra EV.
People are interested in electric vehicles. How can they get up with you?
They can visit us at brownandwood.net or 329 Southwest Greenville Boulevard. Brown & Wood, 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 rooftops, and 1 goal to make sure you leave a happy customer.
This is Dr. Dixon from Orthopedics East and Sports Medicine Center. Our practice has been caring for the athletes at ECU and the residents of Eastern North Carolina for more than 35 years. Whether it's treatment for your sports injury or it's time for that joint replacement, Orthopedics East provides the latest in operative and non-operative orthopedic care. We also offer on-site physical therapy and MRI services, as well as walk-in urgent care on the weekends from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. For experienced and professional care, call us at 757-BONE or visit us online at orthoeast.com. Go Pirates!
Be sure to check out David Price Construction for all of your commercial or custom residential renovation and building needs. Run by ECU alumni, David Price Construction specializes in commercial projects, maintenance on facilities, and large-scale residential renovations and additions. Proud to be voted the Remodeler of the Year by the Home Builders Association of Raleigh-Wake County in 2018 and Best Business Commercial Remodel Project winner for 2020. 2020. David Price Construction, the proud ECU Home Services partner.
Wally's 2 Kettle Corn in Winterville is where you can find the tastiest popcorn around. Make it a movie night at home with Wally's 2 Kettle Corn. They have over 50 flavors to choose from, including classics like cheddar, caramel, and my favorite, better butter. Or try their specialty flavors such as Chicago Style, Wintergreen Mix, and MJ's Cheesecake. Wally's 2 also caters, so if you're hosting a party or event, satisfy your company with delicious popcorn. Check them out on Facebook or stop by and see Wally today on Fire Tower Road across from Sam Jones Barbecue. Wally's 2 Kettle Corn. Make it a poppin' day.
North Carolina State Parks invites you to enjoy camping your way. With the weather changing, booking your own cabin is the perfect solution for your camping getaway. Reserve campsites or cabins today at Jones Lake, Goose Creek, and Cliffs of the Neuse. Whether you enjoy traditional camping or air-conditioned cabins that can be rented with Wi-Fi, your next adventure can include hiking, beautiful scenery, and sunsets by the campfire. For information on booking a cabin, visit ncparks.gov.
This isn't your regular cola, so this isn't your regular cola ad. No beach parties or family barbecues here, just Nitro Pepsi, the first cola ever infused with nitrogen. So forget everything you thought you knew about soda, because that nitrogen gives us a whole new experience. Think an infusion of smaller bubbles for a cola that's got a lighter, smoother texture. And don't get me started on the pour. You don't pour this like any other cola. We're talking turn the can completely upside down and watch as those bubbles cascade into the glass to create a frothy, luxurious foam topping. Can your cola do that? I didn't think so. Unless you've got your own Nitro Pepsi, in which case cheers to your great taste. Because you already know that the only thing better than the pour is the unapologetic cola taste. What else is there to say? From the creamy foam to the smooth texture to its unbelievably delicious flavor, this is cola like you've never had it before. Time to bring your taste buds to the next frontier. Nitro Pepsi. Smooth, creamy, delicious.
I'm Sam Jones, and for more than 3 generations, my folks have kept the fires burning for Eastern North Carolina Whole Hog Barbecue. At Sam Jones, you'll find our smokehouse pumping out wood-fired meats, cooked fresh every single day. There are no freezers at our place. Everything, and we mean everything, is made fresh daily, including our sides, sweets, and sauces. Stop in and see us, and I bet you'll be able to taste our passion in just one bite. At Sam Jones Barbecue, you'll find plenty of smoke, but no mirrors.
I intend to see to it that any man who sails under a pirate flag or wears a pirate brand gets what he deserves.
Pirate Radio,
I think it'd be rather exciting to meet a pirate.
the voice of the pirate nation. You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by University PC Care, your local tech support experts for all your business needs. Let University PC Care take care of it so you can take care of business. Visit universitypccare.com to learn more today. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Thinking about takeout tonight? Familia can make everything real easy for you with a great selection of Italian food and more. Visit FamiliaNC.com to see the full menu featuring pizzas, pastas, salads, and homemade desserts. Place your order online or call 689-6330 and Familia will have your order ready in their convenient drive-through window for pickup. Finish up a busy day with a great dinner for yourself or your family from Familia. Familia on Fire Tower Road near Pitt Community College. Now let's head back into PRL. Here's Clip.
All right, back with you, Pirate Radio Live here on a Tuesday. Familia would be good tonight, but I'll be out at AJ's tonight. Familia is a good, I like go home Friday, get the pizza of the week, have a Yellow Jackets watch date with my wife to watch the most recent episode and just pound a pizza. I'm already looking forward to doing that Friday night. Chandler?
I love a pizza pounding.
Just a good solid pizza pounding.
I love a good Friday pizza pounding.
Yep, nothing like it. Hashtag keep pizza pounding.
That's like the only food that has like its own day of the week. I feel like Friday's a good pizza day.
Yeah.
Kind of even when I was growing up.
But you're very inaccurate with your statement.
Very.
Patrick. How come?
Very. Chandler, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
What is it? Let's say it on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Taco Tuesday. You had no clue what I was talking about.
See it? Then it's not accurate.
That's the name of the back of my jersey, actually.
I mean, I guess Taco Tuesday is the thing, but I don't eat tacos on Tuesday.
I don't either.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
But it is a thing.
I feel like Friday
it is a
it's
thing.
like I'm not
I eat
cooking.
tacos on Tuesday.
There you go.
There you go. I mean,
Soup Sunday is the thing.
Hey, soup every day, baby.
Soup every day. Mike P says, Patrick, what's your go-to quick canned soup?
Probably cream of chicken, I think. Like cream of...
Wait a minute. But
what do you mean like a can? Like a...
it's not a difficult question.
It is, though. You gave me a look for cream of chicken.
Yeah, but what, you just eat the cream of chicken soup just like that?
Sometimes. Okay, I guess if I'm getting like a Campbell's,
right? That's what I'm thinking.
I'll go like New England clam chowder.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So what are you doing with the cream of chicken though?
Well, sometimes, I guess you can kind of cook with it, but sometimes I do get those like condensed can. You put it in the pot or the pan, fill it up with milk, and then just stir it up and eat it.
Okay,
that's pretty good.
Fair enough. I got a quick lunch story today. You know what I had for lunch today? I had a homemade lettuce wrap. How about that, Chandler?
What did you put in the wrap?
That's what you were doing back there in the back. I was wondering what you were doing with that lettuce.
So last night I set up my work lunch for the day, and I went and I put 2 pieces of bread in a Ziploc bag and put those beside the refrigerator. I then got a Food Line bag and put turkey that I had in the fridge, both pepper jack and a little bit of Swiss, so I could have my choice of cheeses, a little bit of an onion I had left, some lettuce, and some mayo, all in a bag for my lunch. Today, as I leave the house, I get that bag, I leave the bread. I totally forgot about the bread. So I get here and I'm like, what the H am I going to do? And I was like, you know what? This lettuce is pretty sturdy. I'm going to use the lettuce as bread. Perfect. And have a turkey and cheese. I had a turkey and provolone and a turkey and pepper jack and a turkey and Swiss lettuce wrap.
Man.
Wait, so when you said you put it in the bag, is it like you put the mayo and you could shake it up? Kind of?
I put it all together. No, they are all in their separate bags. The onion's in a bag, the lettuce is in a bag, and they all go into a bigger bag.
I'm curious about the mayo, though. How did that make the journey?
Okay, the mayo is in a squeezable jar that you can buy at a grocery
So you
retailer.
just brought the whole mayo container. Yeah, I'm thinking you just like, hey, I want this much mayo. You know, remember like McDonald's way back in the day had those salads where you get it and you just shake it up like mayo?
Yeah.
I thought that's what you're doing with the bag.
No.
This is an innovator over here.
Nah, I didn't want just loose mayo flying everywhere on my way to work.
Hey, what's all over the floor here?
Yeah, I was like,
the mayo that was in my bag.
Yeah.
Clip looked to really enjoy his lunch.
This portable mayonnaise.
I love a good lettuce wrap, though.
You know,
Jimmy John's has that.
I didn't know I did, but I might go to that more. I'm not a huge bread fan.
If you're ever feeling like healthy.
Okay, well, that takes me out of the running.
But like, if you ever you had Jimmy John's the other day, I believe, but they have like lettuce wraps for their. You can get any sandwich in the lettuce wrap.
Yeah.
Couldn't be me, but I like it.
Eric says pizza should always be rated by poundability. All right,
that's an option.
Eric says I can't say one bad word about Campbell's Chunky Sirloin Burger Soup. It's been there for me through the good and bad times. Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Also, Eric says, what is Patrick's experience, if any, with Mexican soups?
See, I'm not really a fan. I think we did this a week or two ago.
Yeah.
Like the tortilla soup, I stay away from.
He says menudo? What is that?
I don't know.
Has beef tripe. So that's a no-go for me. However, pozole is a candidate for a top 5 all-time soup.
Interesting. Well, if I see it out there, I'll have to give it a shot.
Let's Google that up real quick. Pozole. Traditional
I didn't know Menudo
soup.
was a soup.
I thought that was like
a group.
A boy band, right?
Yeah, I thought it was a boy band.
Mexican cuisine made from hominy with meat. Can be seasoned, garnished with shredded lettuce, cabbage, chili peppers, onions, garlic, round. Okay. You know what? I'm going to stick with my American soups and just go Taco Tuesday on Tuesdays for my Mexican dish. All right. Read an article earlier from Reflector.com about we are getting closer, Patrick, it appears, to having a Coastal Plain League team here in Greenville, which would be playing summer baseball, which would add another baseball wrinkle to an already rich baseball surrounding area.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. What's your thoughts on that?
I like it. I mean, more baseball. I'm all for it. And then the summer leagues are really fun. There's one out in Wilson, like the Tobbs, and that's pretty fun. Like it's just more baseball is fun, and I mean I feel like
it's
baseball,
fun, right?
It is. It's just fun, man.
It's
like,
fun.
Just that's what I look forward to in summer. Is just having baseball on all the time. Unless it's White Sox baseball, then I'm not excited. But everything else, yeah, I'm ready for it.
They stink.
They're really bad.
What is going on? Why are they so bad?
They're really bad. They're just not good. I don't know what to tell you. They're very frustrating.
They were blanked today, 8-0.
I think they had 10 of their last 11 batters struck out to end the game today. I mean, just uncompetitive. They're brutal.
I am 1 game back going into today in my wins pool for the month of April, and the White Sox have absolutely killed me.
And they got the Rays for 4 games coming up.
Oh, my word.
You're not getting any help.
I'm going to lose. My mom said, remember that pasta soup I used to make? I do. And I remember we take it to my grandparents' house, and my granddad would say, well, it ain't soup, but it's good. He was like, this ain't soup, but I enjoy it.
Hey, as long as you enjoy it.
That's right.
Call it whatever you want.
But it ain't soup. Let's see. Jamie says, do you guys know about the team coming to Brunswick County, new stadium they approved?
I do not.
That's Wilmington. That's between Wilmington and Myrtle Beach. Do not know. Do not have any details on that. Eric says, as a young child, I used to only eat hot dogs with mayo on them. I was called mayonnaise boy at school. I know, it sounds like the backstory of a serial killer. Cool, Eric. Thanks for really opening yourself up to us today. Yeah. By the way, Patrick, anybody you want to show some love to, send some love to today through the airwaves?
I guess it's my parents. They're always just been really cool. And I don't know, I like talking to them. I don't get to see them all that often, which is a bummer. But, I mean, it is cold out there in Chicago. It's like been in the 40s. We can go to the beach out here some days. It's in the 70s. So yeah.
By the way, I'm enjoying spring. How about you guys?
It's been a good spring.
I feel like we've had a real spring this year.
No, I feel like in the past, like at least last year and the past couple of years, a spring has been more of like an extended winter where it's very cold, it's rainy. But this spring has been just beautiful with great temperatures and everything.
And it goes like immediately to hot, right? Like there's no spring to enjoy. This year, we have had a good spring. My electric bills have appreciated the spring that we've had.
Yeah, it's like a door window open kind of spring.
Yeah, like it's been in the mid 70s a lot of days in the spring.
It's not humid. It's been honestly great.
And I keep looking at the 7-day forecast to say, all right, when's this going to change up? And I'm just seeing like some 70s and 50s.
Gotta love it.
Yeah,
it's perfect.
So count your blessings, folks.
God, you've got me excited, Clip.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm in a good mood right now.
There's a lot of things to be excited about.
Hey, I got my first rec league softball practice tomorrow. Kind of get to figure out who the team is.
Okay.
So I'm looking forward to that.
Is this church or?
Yeah.
All right. How's church going?
It's actually going good.
What's any hymns you've been singing?
I'm not. I haven't got to the point yet where I'm comfortable, singing out loud.
Okay.
There's plenty of people who sing though.
So you sit in the congregation and just don't say anything?
Yeah. I'm just not comfortable singing.
Do they know you're a softball player, or do they think you're some creep?
Maybe a little both. I don't know.
Some Sundays I would sing along, but some Sundays, if I didn't feel like it, I would just mouth the words and not say anything. Nothing would come out of my mouth.
Just get the lips moving.
I did quite a bit of mumbling, I remember.
Yeah.
Back in the day. Does your girlfriend go with you?
She does.
Okay. So you're not there.
She's been a trooper.
You're not there alone.
Right.
That would be very strange.
Yeah.
Who's the tall guy that doesn't sing?
Why is he not singing over there?
Yeah. People will know me a little bit more once we play some games, I think.
You'll be a star then. Or you'll be kicked out of the church, depending on your batting average.
Yeah, that's true.
You ever heard Tim Wilson's Church League softball fistfight song?
No.
All right. Well,
I got to look it up, though.
Yeah, look that up. Church League softball fistfight. Great song.
I'll try to get into a limited amount of fistfights.
Let's take a break. When we return, more with P-Mace, more of your comments, more to go on a Tuesday edition of Pirate Radio Live. John Moody, speaking of familia earlier, says, don't sleep on the build your own pasta either. I know you ain't talking to me, John. Because I am woke when it comes to
Let me see if I can get this right.
The build your own pasta.
Shrimp.
You say shrimp?
Shrimp.
Yeah.
Sausage.
Yep.
Ooh, I like it.
I don't know what else you get in there, but I know shrimp and sausage is a part of your.
I like a
linguine.
linguine. Or a fettuccine. And then I got to go Alfredo.
Yes.
They have a good Alfredo. That is my go-to. Build your own pasta at Familia. All right, I'll take a break. More to go. Pirate Radio Live. Panthers are on the clock. Patrick's got his Bears shirt on.
That's right.
And the pick is in for the Panthers, apparently.
That's what it sounds like.
Why won't they say who it is? Okay, we're not going to redo
let's
this
not go down that
conversation.
road again.
All right, we'll take a break, come back. More to go after this.
Getting a Jersey Mike's sub top Mike's way with onion, lettuce, tomatoes, oregano, and the juice is the bee's knees. Actually, it's better than the bee's knees. I mean, what's the purpose of knees on bees? They don't crouch, they just buzz around. But Mike's Way has a purpose, topping your sub the authentic Jersey way. It's the cat's pajamas. Wait, cats don't wear pajamas. Mike's Way is better. Let's just leave it at that. Get your sub top Mike's Way. Jersey Mike's, a sub above.
Some things just go together. That's why Bojangles and Appalachian Mountain Brewery have partnered to brew the tasty beverage we didn't know we've been waiting for. Bojangles Hard Sweet Tea. Bojangles Hard Sweet Tea is perfect for entertaining, enjoying on vacation, tailgating, and any occasion when you want to bring the fun. It's always been Bo time, and now it's brew time. Pick up Bojangles Hard Sweet Tea today at your favorite local retailer. Proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing, supporting the Pirate Nation since 1989.
This is Talbot Green with Integrity Home Mortgage. Are you ready and pre-approved if the home you want to purchase comes for sale today? Integrity Home Mortgage offers a wide variety of programs ranging from conventional, government, and portfolio loans, plus construction and lot loans. Our team of Talbot Green, Braxton Green, and Joanne Weir offers over 50 years of experience. To get started, call me, Talbot Green, 714-2076.
Talbot Green, NMLS 120331. For informational purposes only. Integrity Home Mortgage Corporation is equal housing lender. NMLS 208516.
The Rick House is Eastern North Carolina's premier restaurant and bourbon authority. Jefferson's, Basil Hayden, Woodford Reserve, and a Midwinter Night's Dram are just a few of the incredible bourbon options. The Rick House features the very best steaks and fresh, made-from-scratch pastas. The Rick House can host your corporate event or special parties in the 3,000-square-foot banquet hall. Join the Rick House for Sunday brunch from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. and for the wine tastings on the last Friday of every month. The Rick House.
To keep your bodies active and engaged in the activities that you love, you need a good stretch. And at Bodies in Balance, that's the mission they follow to give you the best quality of life. The team at Bodies in Balance can create a stretch or massage program that is right for you, featuring aromatherapy, hot stones, hot towels, cupping, percussion, and myofascial work at no extra cost if requested. And don't forget to mention Pirate Radio and get your first massage for $1 per minute and your first stretch free. Call today at 916-4530 and check them out online at bodiesinbalance.com.
Do you have any real estate questions about buying or selling residential or commercial properties? Are you curious about this current real estate market? Do you need a property manager for all your rental houses? This is proud ECU alum Scott Harris with RE/MAX Preferred Realty and SD Harris Properties, and I would love to help answer every question you have and show you a real estate experience that will be memorable and enjoyable. Every step of the way, I'm here to make your dreams a stress-free reality. Call me today at 347-1857. That's 347-1857. Go Pirates.
Familia is your go-to spot for the best Italian dishes around, including pizzas, pastas, salads, and homemade desserts.
That's Familia.
Enjoy half-off wine night on Wednesdays, $3 drafts on Thursdays, or get a pizza of the week for just $12.
That's Familia.
Place your order online or call 689-6330, and Familia will have your order ready in their drive-thru window for pickup.
That's Familia.
Clip, really?
Oh, sorry.
Familia on Fire Tower Road in Winterville near Pitt Community College.
Big jobs on big properties demand a big side-by-side. A side-by-side like the first ever Honda Pioneer 1000 Deluxe Crew. This flagship model delivers serious power and performance where you need it most. Even more, it offers best-in-class comfort for 6 occupants with back seat legroom beyond compare. As for build quality, we'll let the Honda name speak for itself. Head to Ron Ayers Motorsports and see the all-new Pioneer 1000 Deluxe Crew today on approved credit. See dealer for details.
Pirate Radio.
You know, East Carolina deserves to go to Omaha. People should be worried about us. We're going to be really good, and I'm not afraid to say it on record.
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by University PC Care, your local tech support experts for all your business needs. Let University PC Care take care of it so you can take care of business. Visit universitypccare.com to learn more today. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Town Insurance is your premier independent insurance agency. From maximizing opportunities to minimizing risk, Town's insurance advisors offer expert professional advice to clients of all sizes. For personal or business insurance questions, call 756-8300 today. Now let's head back in to PRL. Here is your host, Clip Brock.
Idea. Pirate Radio Live. Interesting discussion. There you go. Yeah. Patrick, what is your favorite Halle Berry movie?
I was going to instinctively say Flintstones. There's got to be some Catwoman movie for sure.
Now that my answer would be, do I have the name of the movie right? Is it Gothica? Is that what it's called? The one where
Gothica?
Yeah, Gothica. You ever seen that?
I have not.
Let's see what it probably sucks. What's Rotten Tomatoes got it? 14%.
That's low.
Oh man, when I was this was 2003. Yeah, I watched a lot of thrillers in that era, but that was I thought it was a good movie, but I was wrong apparently.
You know what
Very
movie
wrong.
I thought was good?
It's got Robert Downey Jr.
Terrible.
What?
Home Team.
Oh, the Kevin James, Sean Payton movie. So,
Wait, I was gonna say, real quick, the Flintstones got 21%.
So yours is better than mine. You're looking for a flick to watch with your girlfriend, like I wouldn't say it's a horror. It's more of a scary thriller type thing. Gothica.
Okay.
Check that out. That was an era of a lot of those kinds of movies, like What Lies Beneath and Stir of Echoes.
Just like very dark and kind of.
I love Stir of Echoes. Let's see what that got. That's 1999. You ever heard of that one? Kevin Bacon?
No.
That was a creepy one. 67%. Okay, so not as bad.
Yeah, that's doable.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
But that was just an era of a lot of weird mystery. The Sixth Sense was around that time as well. Maybe everybody was trying to recreate that or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it goes through phases, like the zombie phase for a while.
Yep.
And just all
and
that
then
sort of
the disaster phase.
Yeah.
Where all
the
those
world's
movies.
ending. You know.
Mm-hmm. Chandler, you seen anything good lately? I know you haven't. I know for a fact you haven't. Patrick,
I watched How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
Oh yeah,
on
Taking
Saturday.
notes.
How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. Did you watch that with your date?
No, with my grandmother.
Okay,
That's acceptable. It's respectable.
Did she enjoy that movie?
She was the one that suggested it to me and said, "Let's watch it."
Is that Kate Hudson?
That is Kate Hudson and Matthew McConaughey.
I think I saw it back in the day.
Pretty good flick.
I don't know if I'm going to
I
want
enjoyed
to come right out and say it, but I think Failure to Launch is one of my favorite of that genre in that kind of era.
Rom-coms?
Yeah.
I don't think I saw that.
Can I name off before we go on to the next subject? I got some Patrick Mason tweets.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
What do you
no.
got?
I've got some good ones. Well, I saw this one, and I said, well, there's got to be some more, and there was. I've got two for you. The first one was an hour ago.
Oh.
It says this. It's not even May, and baseball might be over on Chicago's South Side. The White Sox straight up suck, says Patrick Mason.
I feel like, is that the end of the tweet?
That's the end of that one.
I don't think you are. You're being
an ECU baseball fan for the White Sox.
But I don't know. I think that look at ECU's record and look at Chicago's record.
I think I might be actually a little warranted here to feel
I think you're a little more realistic in that than ECU fans right now. Yeah.
100%.
57 minutes ago, Patrick Mason tweeted out this. This bum-ass White Sox team starts...
Whoa.
This bum-ass White Sox team starts a 4-game series with the Rays tomorrow. One thing is for sure, it will only get worse.
Man. Tough times on the South Side.
Yeah.
This bum-ass
Chandler, stop.
White Sox.
Stop.
They just put me in a bad mood.
Stop cussing. If you make Patrick Mason cuss, you know you've done something. All right, I'm cussing in a good way. Like, holy bleep, look what Mike Schwartz is doing, Patrick. Cam Hayes entering the fray here this offseason as Mike Schwartz is looking to retool the East Carolina basketball roster and starting to get folks excited about ECU basketball, which I love.
Yeah, be excited, man. From the start, Mike Schwartz he's very well spoken, which I think it's easy to get your message across. But man, like I just feel like he has this vision, and he's like, I am not going to come here, and we're not going to be the same old ECU. And I feel like that has to be so refreshing for fans. I know, fans can point to years and years of just not doing anything, but I think this is finally, it offers some hope, and I think he's the right guy just to really drive this ship in the right direction.
There's a lot of people that hate the transfer portal. I think that, and we haven't seen it happen yet, but I think if you said ECU has the best chance to make it to the tournament in the non-transfer portal era or the transfer portal era, I think I lean towards transfer portal era.
Yeah.
And I realize it's not all positive. You've lost several guys, and you're going to lose several guys. But everybody does. It's a chance to rebuild a roster immediately and put together very good talent across teams from across the United States, like Kansas and LSU, to name a couple. So it gets me excited. But what also gets me excited is more so the returners. Like, do you know deadlines or anything like that? Like, when can we say for sure that Felton, Johnson, Ezra, Walker will be here?
Yeah, I was actually looking at it like a week ago. I forget the dates off the top of my head because like there's different windows that opens up and stuff. But man, I mean, right now I know it's hard to say this for sure, but right now it seems like all those dudes are staying, and I think Mike Schwartz is. Part of his pitch is saying, hey, guys, you can play with this core that is only going to get better. And that's what they're doing.
Robert has a message for the transfer portal. He says, go to hell, transfer portal. Get a job.
But you can, like you said, you can retool on the fly. You can add, pick and choose what you need. And you can find it.
You've got needs.
And you can find it.
East Carolina had backcourt needs. They went out and addressed those in the portal. They have front court needs. I guess they've chosen to address those via high school players. Yeah. Because we had another commit earlier this week, 6'11" kid to go along with Sear Malanga.
Yeah, get some rim protection. But yeah, the portal definitely allows, especially in basketball, where you can just find, hey, I need X amount of pieces, and you can go out and look for that specific thing and find it.
And by the way, I feel like I always say this, and it's not being a bummer, it's being realistic. East Carolina could be better next year, but everybody is trying to get better anyway. Yeah. So there are a lot of good players going a lot of different places. I'm not stamping anything as far as the 23-24 season goes. I'm just saying I'm excited with what East Carolina has assembled and what it could be, what it could end up looking like.
But I think it's okay to be excited. This is like the time of year to be excited. You haven't seen any of these guys play for you yet. But yeah, you're saying, hey, we got this guy, Hey, the roster's shaping out. This is the time to be excited. Yeah, I mean, they're going to have some work, but yeah, be excited. You should be excited.
This is the time to be excited if you are a Bears or Commanders fan.
That's right. Nothing bad has happened yet.
Yeah, this is our time, baby. This
time
is
to shine.
Off season when everybody's 0-0 and everybody's got a chance. So what are the Bears looking at in Thursday night's draft?
I think they can go a lot of different directions. I think they are potentially hoping that Jalen Carter falls to them, but I'm not sure. I've actually heard them talk about running back, that Bijan Robinson, which I don't know about taking a running back that early in a top 10 pick just because they're so what's the word? Like, I don't know, fungible, is that the word? You can just find a running back anywhere, basically. But, I mean, he's a great talent. I mean, they can go defensive line. They can go offensive tackle, I've heard. I mean, they have at least 4 or 5 positions they could take, and I would not be upset at anyone.
Well, it's amazing the Bears are even thinking about a running back when they had the greatest running back of all time on their roster. We were talking about this last Friday, Patrick. We were talking about comparing players, and David Montgomery, when he was at Iowa State, they put up his comparisons. The ESPN graphic, he had the feet of Saquon Barkley, the vision of Le'Veon Bell, the strength of Ezekiel Elliott, the athleticism of Sony Mitchell. I mean, maybe one of the best put together running backs of all time.
It sounds incredible. Yeah, pick and choose any and everything. Man, it says feet of Saquon Barkley. If he had the quads of Saquon Barkley, then it's like a godlike person back there.
Did you say Sonny Mitchell?
Sony. Michelle.
Did
I say Mitchell?
Mitchell, yeah.
Did I say Sonny?
Michel.
Did I say both names wrong?
I don't know. You definitely said the last name wrong. I didn't pay attention to the first name.
My apologies to you and the listeners.
Apology accepted.
I love this fake graphic somebody made. Jonathan Taylor has the feet of David Montgomery, the vision of David Montgomery, the strength of David Montgomery, the athleticism of David Montgomery. So you got to be careful with these comps this time of year.
You really do.
But people make money and subscriptions and clicks and stuff off draft grades, which is the dumbest thing of all time because there's no way to know what these guys are going to do. You're grading them on like what you expected the team to do, basically. So that's going to – and look, I'm a sucker. I read them. I enjoy it. It's entertainment.
So there's this writer for The Athletic. His name is Dane Brugler, and each year he puts out a draft, like a big comprehensive draft, every player. It's called The Beast. And I was – I'm getting in draft mode, so I'm going through it. And I start going through what he has on East Carolina players. And what's really surprised me was he has C.J. Johnson as the 30th best wide receiver in the draft and a potential 6th-round pick. And just like a nice slot receiver, talking about his size, and one of the knocks on him seems to labor in like the middle of routes and longer routes, and I think we almost saw that a little bit at the pro day. I think teams were like, hey, what's going on here? But I thought that was really interesting that he was way ahead of Isaiah Winstead.
I know.
I think Isaiah Winstead's like peripherals were not good. Like he ran like a 4.7, and his vertical was like 30 inches. But just watching him play, he can play and do the job. It's just nothing really stood out in like workouts.
And I'm sure a lot of guys are this way, but I've gotten to know Isaiah, and I don't know all the other receivers out there, but like he lives football. Like his training, like his attitude, his seriousness, like he is all in. And if you give him a job and a paycheck to play football, he is going to take it 100% serious and not do anything to mess it up.
Right. I mean, I think he was the best wide receiver on ECU's roster last year. Just the way he seals off that defender and go gets the ball. I mean, that's I'm sure you can maybe teach that, but that's something he just already has down pat.
Yeah.
But that's why I thought it was really interesting that C.J. Johnson was fairly high up on that thing. So he's a potential actual draft selection.
Before we let Patrick Mason go, I want to do the exercise with him that we did last week with me. We can ask him Justin Fields or the first overall pick.
What would you rather have right now?
Justin Fields. Hands down.
He put his hands down.
I've seen
hand down, man down.
I've seen him in the NFL for a couple of years, and he's the most electric mobile quarterback right now. And I think if he can pass the ball a little bit better, he's going to be phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's like anyone, but I think if he just dials in some throws, I mean, he's got a big arm. I think he can be a real player in this league.
I mean, he did turn the Bears into must-see TV the second half of last season. Luckily, Washington played him early in the year when the Bears couldn't get a first down. But the second half of the year, he was a fantasy stud. People had a blast going to Bears games because they'd give up 40 points and score 37 or whatever.
Right.
So there's something there, something to it. And
you just got to see this through. Like you can't just take a quarterback 1 overall and start the process.
Your answer to that was number 1, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But who's like in this year's draft? Like you're going to take.
Well, that's what we're saying.
Yes,
he's saying Bryce Young.
I'm taking Justin Fields 10 times out of 10.
Yeah. Shout out to Jamie, by the way, who asked on YouTube. He said C.J. Stroud or Justin Fields. That made me think about the exercise that we went through last week with that clip was asking me. Maybe ask some other quarterbacks in the NFL or Justin Fields.
So, well, we're out of time. But I'd love to do that one day. We've got a lot of talking to do between now and September. So
a lot of football.
Yep. Patrick, good stuff. You can check out his work page of the Daily Reflector, online, reflector.com. We'll see you out at Clark LeClaire this weekend.
Yep.
Anything else on the horizon?
No, just more baseball. They're back at home, and I'll be out there.
All right, man. Enjoyed it. Thank you.
Thanks.
Take a break. Come back. Big hour 3 on tap. Jeff Nadu joins us once again. Hadn't talked to the big man on campus in a while. We'll talk NFL draft prop bets. We'll talk a little NBA. Also, his thoughts on what Mike Schwartz has been doing here with ECU basketball this offseason. And Mark Armstrong, former TV sports guy, now is out of that line of work, but he's a Canadian. And I don't have a lot of go-to hockey guests, so he is a hockey nut. We'll talk Canes. Well, he's also a Utah grad. I'll ask him his thoughts on primetime, Deion Sanders, coming into the Pac-12. We'll talk about that and more. All in hour number 3 and make you a winner. It's on the way after this.
Never changes a thing. The week ends, the week begins. She thinks we look at each other.
Hey, John, I see your new system's having issues already.
Yeah, I used the other guy with an AC brand I've never heard of.
You should have used Delcor, John. They install Train. It's hard to stop a train.
I know, but the other guy was cheaper.
Cheaper isn't better, John.
I know.
Don't use the other guy. Call Delcor. For a limited time, buy a new Train system and pay 0% interest for 12 months. Visit Delcor.com for more details. Delcor, the service professionals.
The Buccaneer Music Hall is your beacon of music in the land of the Pirates. They're open every day and have live music every night, along with 18 big screen TVs to watch all your favorite sporting events. Tuesday, it's karaoke with DJ Captain Morgan. Wednesdays, it's line dancing. Thursday night is the dance party with DJ Kid Scene. And live music every Friday and Saturday night with the best bands on the East Coast. Follow the Buck on Instagram for more information on scheduled events, and we'll see you at the Buck.
Country Mart has been locally owned and operated for over 40 years and is your premier country store serving the best cheese biscuits and country food around. Country Mart is open every day and has 2 locations in Bethel on Highway 11 and in Stokes on Highway 903. Both Country Mart locations are top-of-the-line fuel stations serving Shell gas, including 93 ethanol-free high-octane gas. Country Mart, fueling you up with great food in your engines with great gasoline. Go Pirates!
Hey Pirate Nation, Lindsey Gray here with Carolina Caliber. In 1960, my granddaddy started his firearm business right here in Eastern NC. Still family owned and operated, we have the area's largest selection for outdoor shooting sports and accessories and are one of the nation's top firearm dealers. At Carolina Caliber, we have everything you need from hunting, home defense, and personal protection, including a wide variety for ladies and youth. We buy, sell, and trade. It's a time-honored tradition. Visit us at Carolina Caliber on Fire Tower Road in Winterville.
With over 30 locations across North Carolina and southeastern Virginia, Quality Equipment is your local John Deere dealer, where you'll find everything you need for your next project. Our complete lineup of John Deere lawn and garden, agricultural, and commercial worksite equipment comes with years of experience, expertise, and dedication. We know what it takes to get it done right. Stop by today or visit us online at qualityequip.com.
For years, Callie Ann Phelps has been singing about Phelps Chevrolet.
Phelps Chevrolet is the one for you. Low prices, service too. See the big dealer right away. Carolina's finest, Phelps Chevrolet.
And you'll agree with what Skylar Phelps has to say.
Nobody beats Phelps Chevrolet's prices. Nobody.
The name you can depend on. Phelps Chevrolet.
Get you one.
We all have seniors in our life who may need a little extra help with technology. University PC Care's Quick Helps are affordable, in-store, short appointments designed for seniors who may need a little TLC to help with setting up a new computer, help with email or passwords, or help with the latest online scam. They don't need to fear technology anymore. Call 252-558-1280 to schedule an in-store Quick Helps appointment for Greenville or New Bern. Learn more at universitypccare.com.
Before anyone walks into your business, the outside is what they see. Make sure your first impression is a good impression with the right curb appeal. Hi, this is Daniel Andrews from Dan Andrews Lawn Service. We specialize in making your business look great. Let us handle all your professional landscaping needs. We do it all so you don't ever have to worry. Residential services are also available. Call us today at 717-8006 and we'll come out and give you a free quote. Taking care of your landscaping needs is all we do, and we've been doing it for over 20 years. You can trust our reliable team at Dan Andrews Lawn Service, covering all of Eastern North Carolina.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding Pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Order Jersey Mike subs on the mobile app and get delivery right to your home, or save time and order ahead to skip the line to pick up from your nearest Jersey Mike sub location. Jersey Mike's a sub above. Now let's head back in to PRL. Here's Cliff.
Alrighty, back with you here, Pirate Radio Live on a Wednesday. Still a lot more to go on the show, including Mark Armstrong going to join us to talk some Canes hockey. Hurricanes losing last night. They'll try to advance to round 2 by beating the Islanders coming up on Friday. If not, it's Game 7 in Raleigh on Sunday. So we'll talk about that. Right now, we'll talk some hoops and some NFL draft with the big man on campus, Jeff Nadu from Barstool Sports, who joins us here on Pirate Radio Live. Big man, I hadn't talked to you in a while. How you doing, man?
Good. How are you, Cliff?
Good. I know you've been following you, of course, and you've been playing some NBA, a little baseball here and there, and got the NFL draft coming up on Thursday. So let's start there, Jeff. And I guess let's start with this Will Levis story that I guess happened on Tuesday, where a Redditor, just a random guy, put out hey, talk to Will Levis. Members of his family say he's going to the Carolina Panthers, going to get drafted by them. And it did create some line movement. And I'm curious about this, Jeff. Was the line movement due to actually people putting down money, or was it like books saying, let's take advantage of this, and if we move the line, people will start betting Will Levis 1 overall? Like what? I don't know. I'm sure you saw all that mockery happen. What'd you think of it?
Well, I think it's what you alluded to. It's probably the books trying to cash in on people's stupidity. I mean, I think this is an overarching higher problem, that it's a bit disturbing that an individual can make up a Reddit account and essentially say something, and people will take it and it'll move betting markets.
Yeah.
That's a bit concerning to me. I'm always fascinated about the ability of one person to really put a story out, and people will just run and take it and go wherever you want with it. No, I think books wouldn't just go off an information from a Redditor. I think they did it to kind of cash in on it, but I think it's just more disturbing than anything.
Jeff, all right, when you look at this NFL draft, what are the props you're looking at? What are some things you're excited about for Thursday night?
Well, I think anytime, the NFL draft comes, I mean, it's such a spectacle now, and it's always been, but it's several days. It's great. We've kind of missed the NFL. We haven't seen it since, February. You kind of getting the juices flowing a little bit, and the draft's always fun. We all have a favorite team. We want them to improve. As far as ones that I'm looking at, I'm seeing Will Anderson around that 3.5 number. I just have a hard time believing that either the Arizona Cardinals or the Houston Texans don't take him. I just don't really see a situation. You look at Houston, obviously their coach, D'Amico Ryans, is a defensive first kind of guy. Will Anderson is probably the most disruptive player in this draft defensively. Outside of maybe, one or two others. I have him number 1. I think he's the most athletic edge player in this league or in this draft. And I look at the tools and techniques that he has. I think it works perfectly for Houston. When you have a defensive player that can completely dominate the defensive line, like an Aaron Donald, you can do a lot of different things. I think for them, that makes a lot of sense. So I'm looking at him under 3.5. I have some interest. One that I did play, Nolan Smith under 11. I think this is a pretty solid play. Edge rushers are very, I think, coveted. That's something we found over the last several years. You look at several teams that may go defensive player, whether it's, as I said, Houston or Arizona, but you look a little deeper, Seattle. I think it's probable that they take some sort of defender. I think Detroit desperately needs a defensive lineman. The Atlanta Falcons, I could see them taking a player. And I think the Philadelphia Eagles, I think if Nolan Smith's there at 10, I would have a hard time believing if they don't trade out. I think they have a hard time believing they don't take him. They're pretty high on Nolan Smith, and they need an edge rusher. So I think Nolan Smith under 11 makes a lot of sense.
Good stuff. Jeff Nadu, Barstool Sports, joining us on the Pirate Radio Live Line. NFL Draft coming your way on Thursday night. Jeff, have you looked at the position-specific over-under wagers, bets out there. I'm looking at it now, and it's heavily weighted to the overs with quarterbacks over 4.5 taken in the first round. You're paying a hefty price for that. Running backs over 1.5. You're paying a big price for the over on that one as well. Tight ends is 2.5, and the under you're paying a pretty price for. Receivers 3.5. Have you looked at any of those? I don't know if you know what you're doing there, you could make a little money somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about counting and just kind of, teams always do crazy things. Like, I'm more inclined to maybe take, like, the first player selected at a position, that sort of thing. And I think a lot of the times, look, I've said this to you before, Clip, when you're talking about props, whether it's Super Bowl props or draft props or whatever, you have to be willing to lay a price occasionally. And if you're willing to lay, let's say you take $2,000, you lay it on a prop. If you're willing to lay a little money, you can make money. Look, when I look at this draft, the best receiver is clearly Jackson Smith and Jigba. I don't think it's a question. I know Zay Flowers moved up a little bit. I like Jalen Hyatt. I think he's a guy in the second round that's really interesting. But Jackson Smith and Jigba is going to be the first receiver taken. I would probably put it at minus 500. So I feel like if I can find a price that's under that price, I'm willing to grab a little bit of a bigger chunk and lay it on that, because I feel like that's something that doesn't leave much doubt to me, and I can kind of isolate it. If you could find a linebacker or a lineman, another one, Paris Johnson. I've seen mocks that have Paris Johnson as, a top 5 pick. Peter Scaronti's a good player, but Paris Johnson's the best offensive lineman in this draft. So, I think if you can kind of highlight that sort of thing, Michael Mayer, I thought he was the best tight end in this class. I didn't think it was really a question to me. So if you can find those sorts of things, I'm willing to lay a little price on that kind of stuff.
Jeff Nadu, Barstool Sports, joining us. Going to be fascinating to see what happens. I also saw some odds for the first NFL player traded, and the favorite for that is DeAndre Hopkins, followed by Austin Eckler. Derrick Henry is on that list, along with Dalvin Cook, Lamar Jackson. So but DeAndre Hopkins overwhelmingly the favorite there. Jeff, is that something you think we could see during the draft, or does that come after draft time?
Well, it's funny because I remember, one team that did it last year is the Eagles. I mean, they went and grabbed A.J. Brown.
Yeah.
They're big on that.
Was that draft night, Jeff?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah.
I would probably go with DeAndre Hopkins, but I'm hearing a lot about Austin Eckler. I mean, I've heard him here in this town. I've heard Derrick Henry, obviously, but yeah, I think DeAndre Hopkins. I mean, he's been talking a lot about the Bills, and that's generally when you see a trade. So it's really just about deciding who it's going to be. Because look, teams that are let's say bad, like in Arizona, they want picks. They're going to try to do what they can to move. This is the best time to move a player. Yeah, I would probably look towards either Eckler or Hopkins there. Look, I've said before, I think two years ago, I'd probably put DeAndre Hopkins best team in the NFL. So, we saw Brown move last year. I could see Hopkins surely move this year.
Jeff, what about the running back position? Teams do not like to, spend a high pick on a running back, but Bijan Robinson from Texas is getting a lot of praise coming into this draft, and it could be potentially the star when it comes to the running back position. What do you think his future looks like, and what is a team willing to spend on a running back in 2023, specifically on Robinson?
It's rare, but I think they're willing to spend a first-round pick.
Yeah.
I've heard ridiculous things like certain teams want to take him in the top 15, top 10. I'm not sure I would do that, but he seems to be a guy that is the once in 2-3 years where you're looking to maybe take him in the first round. You look at kind of his skill set. I mean, he's an elite rusher. I loved him at Texas. You look at per carry. I mean, 8.2 yards per carry. That's pretty impressive. I mean, he won the Doak Walker Award. Just a really kind of team-changing kind of guy. And again, I hate to keep going back to this city, but he's been rumored to come here. I mean, I don't know if I would go top 10. I just don't know if a running back's worth it there. But if you can get a Saquon Barkley, Josh Jacobs type of player, obviously, any team could ask for that. But yeah, I don't know that I would do it personally in let's say the top 20. But he is the one guy of the last couple of years that we could see as one of those productive first-round choices.
Well, speaking of Eagles and running backs, reminded me, Jeff, we haven't spoken since the Panthers, which have made some moves here to build some pieces around who will be their first pick of the draft, which looks like it'll be Bryce Young. But one of those guys was Miles Sanders, former Philadelphia Eagle, who... I don't know. You put a gun to my head. I say he's a Jag, just another guy. But, man, he's put up some big games. He's kind of hit or miss, right, Jeff? He's put up some monster games. He has been kind of absent in games. So what do you think about the new Panthers running back?
Well, there were times here where and this was most of the time, he was very irritating. I remember he was benched about a year or so ago because he just didn't seem to – he doesn't like to run north-south, and that's irritating. He constantly runs east-west, which I think in the NFL, you're just not going to do that very often. They're too good at tacklers. They're too good at gap fillers. It's just not going to work. Do I think he's a number one back? I mean, yeah, last year was very good. Is he going to be the guy there? Yeah, look, I think he's a good enough player in the NFL. Like I said, the running back position is not as coveted as it once was. You don't have those workhorse backs really anymore, and they're very few and far between. Derrick Henry, maybe one or two others. But, yeah, I think the group they had there, though, was pretty solid. I like Chuba Hubbard. I loved him. I think he's a solid number two guy. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see him in that offense with Bryce Young or whoever they end up taking. It's likely to be Bryce Young. Frank Reich, more of a quarterback receiver kind of guy. I like what they did in bringing in Adam Thielen. That's a nice addition. They have a pretty good offensive line, so they're improving. It's definitely an upgrade for sure. It's not Christian McCaffrey, though.
Jeff Nadu joining us. Jeff, go back in the memory bank. Who's your all-time favorite Eagles draft pick? A guy that maybe you wanted, or a guy you were excited about on draft night that ended up hitting and performing like you thought they were? Anybody come to mind?
I remember when they took Deshaun Jackson.
Yeah.
Remember he was coming out of Cal. He was kind of a highly regarded guy. They took him at the second round. And he ended up being the best receiver this team's had in, probably since, I don't know, forever. And in my lifetime, he was a great punt return, just an electric player. He was a Heisman Trophy candidate, if you remember, back when he was at Cal. I remember he had a big game against Tennessee in his junior year. Just a fast kid, a little undersized. He ultimately was a terrific player in 2008 when they took him. I'm trying to think of some others that years ago.
While you're thinking, I'll name an Eagles pick that I wanted coming out of college. I was a big Donovan McNabb fan at Syracuse and was hoping it would work out to where Washington could get him. Of course, he went number 2 overall. Washington later got Champ Bailey in that draft, which can't argue that. And then eventually, by the time we got McNabb, I hated him, Jeff, when we got him in his older days. But, man, I love McNabb coming out of college.
Yeah, I mean, it's really, for Eagles fans, I think they'll tell you it's more about the guys they didn't get, and they will remember.
Right.
But, another guy was pretty high on, I think we were all kind of wondering what he would be because, look, Brian Westbrook went to Villanova.
Yeah.
Right? He was a guy that, they took him the third round. I think when we look back, he's probably the most, one of the most versatile players they've ever had, and the NFL's really ever seen. So, LaShawn McCoy, when they took him, they've had some good second-round picks over the years, man. But obviously, I mean, even myself, I'm known for the negative aspect when they didn't take a player I wanted or they took a player I didn't want them to take. So, yeah, they've had some good ones, but they've had some bad ones.
And I got to assume you're a little happier today about Jalen Hurts than you were on draft night, right?
I mean, listen, I don't really hold – I will admit I think 95% of Eagles fans thought the same thing I did.
Yeah.
At the time, I mean, they had just given Carson Wentz a $128 million contract. And, I felt like, look, could they maybe take a quarterback in that draft? Absolutely. But, we obviously didn't have the foreshadowing and hindsight that we do now. It obviously worked out for the Eagles, and it made that look real stupid. But I think if you belittle it, I just don't think you're being real honest. I mean, we all know that behind that, when that happened, it was a bad decision. That said, it worked out, and I'm definitely happy. Cliff, I will say, if I can, there are some interesting sleepers in this draft if you're interested. One that I'll tell you about is, and you saw him being an East Carolina guy, the kid out of SMU, Rashee Rice. He is a guy that I really like. I think he could be a guy that could sneak into the second round, maybe early third round. He doesn't have blistering speed really, at like a 40 time, but his initial 10-yard times are really good. Great in the slant game. I mean, he had a lot of production at SMU, All-American, led the FBS in receiving yards. He's a guy that I think in the let's say on Saturday or really late, Friday, could be an interesting player. Another one, DJ Turner, a quarterback out of Michigan. He's a guy that I'm really liking as well. One of the faster 40 times you'll see as far as participants this year. Just a big kid that can really kind of just get you, press you at the point of attack. And he's the kind of guy you want out of Michigan. They do well with grabbing corners. And he wasn't really targeted that much. You wanted to kind of avoid him. He's a great corner.
And Jeff, speaking of speed, we'll ask about one more guy, Keaton Mitchell. Teams love his speed. They don't like his size and, potential for injury and things like that. He worked a lot during pro day when all the scouts were here, Jeff, on catching punts, catching kicks, because teams could definitely utilize him, if not in that slot and in the passing game, in the special teams department, kick returns, punt returns. So we're all anxious to see. I think a fan base is going to be excited, especially if they don't know a lot about Keaton Mitchell. Once they hear his name and watch his tape, they're going to be fired up for that mid-round pick they got.
Yeah, it's funny you brought him up, because I noticed that NFL projection had him later, round 6 kind of guy. But I think with the ball in his hands, he's an electric player. I saw that, and I remember, I believe in 2022, he had the most double-digit runs, so above 10-yard rushes. I mean, he had several big gainers. I remember I bet a lot of overs with them because he was so good with these huge plays. You mentioned his ability to catch the football out of the backfield, which is huge. I think if you can find, an interesting, we just mentioned him, Frank Reich, finding him in some sort of system with someone like that kind of use him in certain, Nick Sirianni, guys that are interesting and intuitive and can kind of create something for him. As you said, not real, as far as size, it doesn't help you much, but I think he'll find his way onto a roster, and I think he could be a guy that can surprise you a little bit and just kind of be like, oh, wow, who's that guy again?
Yeah. Jeff Nadu joining us. Jeff, I want to talk a little hoops while we got you here. It's making noise around these parts. Has it made a ripple to where you are and who you are covering college basketball? Michael Schwartz bringing in Bobby Pettiford, who has North Carolina ties from Kansas, coming over here, and Cam Hayes yesterday committing to East Carolina, formerly of NC State, LSU, another North Carolina guy coming here to play basketball at East Carolina. He's added those two parts with a couple of 6'11 guys coming in and a wing that they're excited about from right down the road in Goldsboro to Corey Faison. Michael Schwartz getting folks excited around here. Jeff, are you aware of what's going on with ECU basketball this offseason?
Yeah, I am, and I've said to you before, and I'll say it again. I know he's a favorite of yours there. I mean, I read Hoist the Colors. I read Igo. He wrote a blog about it, and I think this is impressive, and this is what, look, I've said this for years. This is what a good coach can do for you. He can bring kids in that maybe you weren't going to get somewhere else. Bobby Pettiford is a guy who played at Kansas, for God's sakes. I mean, that's the highest level of basketball. That's an impressive game. Cam Hayes, that's an these are two very impressive games to get at a school like East Carolina. Cam Hayes was down at LSU, didn't work for him there. And, this is the great thing about the transfer portal. It's so interesting, though, because, I mean, you just see how many people are in the transfer portal.
Right.
Getting kids to come to Greenville, it's not the easiest thing to do. You know that. But this is what a good coach can do for you, and ECU seemed to hit it out of the park. Finally, a coach that can get kids like this. And look, it's always, I've said to you, it's all about keeping them as well.
Yeah.
It's hard because guys Gardner want to go somewhere else.
Yeah, and I'll say that, I mean, they lost Javon Small, which was big. He goes to Oklahoma State, but they bring Pettiford and Hayes in. And right now, Jeff, knock on wood, the key is he has been able to retain Brandon Johnson, R.J. Felton, Jaden Walker, and keep an eye, Jeff, on Ezra Ozar, who as a freshman showed a lot of ability. If he can step outside, go to mid-range, increase the the jump shots, things like that. He is going to be a tremendous player. So I'm excited about the guys coming back along with the newcomers. So look, hey, we're always excited here in April, but maybe it'll move some season tickets and people get excited about it around here.
I mean, with the roster they had, they went 500 essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty good. I mean, I think this instantaneously makes them a better basketball team for sure.
Yeah.
And the fact that you said, as you alluded to, they're able to keep most of the talent that they had outside of small. I mean, that's impressive. You bring these two kids in, this is all of a sudden a team that's maybe on the top half as opposed to the bottom half, and maybe you can find a way into a tournament at some point.
They do. Keep an eye out on your Twitter if you drop an NBA playoffs play or anything like that.
I'm going to give you one.
Yeah, go ahead.
If you want it. I'm taking the Warriors money line. I just think when the rubber meets the road, I'm willing to bet them at one point away from home. And look, I know they're 11-32 on the road this year, but it's a different type of road situation, right? It's not far. And look, I know people are coming in and taking the Kings, but I just feel like in a one-off where they just have to win the game, I'm confident that they can win the game. I think this series is going to go 7. I have a feeling that the Kings can go to Golden State and win. I'm gonna back a fun series. This is, I think, the best series we've seen. I enjoy this series a lot. I love both these teams. I think the over, you're going to see a lot of under money come in, but you're getting to the point where you got to kind of just assume over. Neither of these teams stop each other. They're both great at pushing the ball and playing with tempo. I like the Warriors. I think they find a way to win.
Warriors Kings coming up 10 o'clock TNT tonight with that series tied at 2 game apiece. Big man, good to chat with you again, man. We'll do it again down the road, but great to catch up with you. Anything going on we need to know about on your end?
No, not really. Just kind of doing my thing, trying to, continue to build, different social medias and doing my show and just kind of, getting to the next step, right? I mean, soon we'll be looking into spring, or you're already doing spring games. You're already looking at the college football rest. I'm really excited again. This would be my 3rd year, hopefully, in a row where I have a good college football season. I had great last 2 years, and looking forward to another one. I really fell in love with college football the last 5 or so years. Just my strongest sport, and I've been happy with it.
Awesome, and it starts now. It doesn't start in the fall. You got to get your prep ready. Big man, enjoyed it, man. We'll catch up with you again down the road, bud.
Sounds good. Look forward to a clip.
Jeff Nadu joining us here on Pirate Radio Live, a day ahead of the NFL Draft. We'll take a time out. As we do, we'll take a look at the Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard presented by the Buck.
The Buck.
O's a winner today over the Red Sox. 6-2 was that final at Camden Yards. The Blue Jays blanked the White Sox 8-0. It was Yankees 12 and Twins 6 earlier today. And the Brewers beat the struggling Tigers 6-2 was that final. Coming up a little bit later on, the Braves in action against the Marlins tonight. It'll be Chandler's Nats against the Mets. Mackenzie Gore on the bump for Washington as they play tonight at 7:10. Maybe we'll catch some of that over at AJ's. Mackenzie Gore on the bump. All right, those scores presented by the Buccaneer Music Hall. A great spot to enjoy games and enjoy some live music. Chandler Honeycutt may be heading there this weekend.
Yes, maybe Saturday. You might see me out there. Great live music all weekend long at the Buck.
If you see Chandler say the secret phrase, what's the what, Honeycutt? And he'll give you a high five. Cool?
What's the what, Honeycutt?
What's the what, Honeycutt?
All right.
He's on board.
Take a break.
All right, we're back with you after this.
Celebrating a special grad but no time to cook? Why not let Jimmy John's cater your graduation party? Enjoy Jimmy John's famous mini Jimmys in 12, 18, or 30-piece party packs made to order with fresh baked bread, hand-sliced meats, and local veggies, and delivered right to you. Whether you have a few guests or a few hundred, Jimmy John's will make your graduation gathering an A-plus event. Jimmy John's, open 7 days a week in Greenville. Order now on the Jimmy John's app or online at jimmyjohns.com. PestTech.com.
Hey, Troy D here with my good friend Kelvin Rawls from Pest Tech. Kelvin, I just want to thank you and Chris and all the great folks at Pest Tech for such awesome service. You totally eliminated the mosquitoes in my backyard, plus the fire ant problem I was having in the yard.
Hey, you're certainly welcome, Troy. I have heard the same thing from all of our customers. With everyone being home, they want to enjoy the outside and being mosquito, fire ant, and pest free.
Enjoy all your property from the kitchen to the curb. Visit pesttechofgreenville.com today for complete service.
Do you want to get rid of wrinkles, tighten and lift your skin, smooth skin texture, erase veins and brown spots, and get rid of unwanted hair? Are you interested in Botox or filler? Contact the licensed professionals at Beauty Bar Medi-Spa on Red Banks Road in Greenville. Free consultations available. Visit us at beautybarmedispa.com. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Enjoy your visit. Love your transformation. Go Pirates!
My whole business just went up in flames. But my agent was there before the fire was out. We started a plan. I've got 25 employees who could be out of a job if we didn't get this place running again. My independent agent and auto owner's insurance, they made sure we didn't skip a beat. I mean, we didn't miss a single payroll. That's incredible.
For whatever lies ahead, we're always there.
This is Brian Smith with Town Insurance in Greenville. Call me today at 756-8300. Go Pirates!
Greenville's first ever Texas Fusion restaurant is now open for lunch. That's right, the Sidebar, located right beside the Dickinson Avenue Public House, now offers lunch Tuesday through Friday from 11:30 to 2:30. Come take a break from work and enjoy the tastiest food items around. Whether it's the honey chipotle chicken sandwich, smoked brisket tacos, chicken tortilla soup, chicken tinga nachos, or keep it simple with chips and salsa. To keep up with our ever-changing menu, food and drink specials, and more, follow the Sidebar on Facebook or on Instagram at sidebar.greenville.
Zero means zero at Bostic Sugg Furniture. Zero minimum purchase, zero interest, zero sales tax. Today at Bostic Sugg, zero gets you everything. Beautiful sofas, sectionals, and motion furniture, dining sets, and bedrooms. Then get a discount equal to double the sales tax or 72 months zero interest with zero minimum purchase. Plus, sleep better on a new Restonic or Serta mattress with a power base. Zero means zero, but there's zero time to waste. So hurry to Bostic Sugg Furniture.
Familia is your go-to spot for the best Italian dishes around, including pizzas, pastas, salads, and homemade desserts.
That's Familia.
Enjoy half-off wine night on Wednesdays, $3 drafts on Thursdays, or get a pizza of the week for just $12.
That's Familia.
Place your order online or call 689-6330, and Familia will have your order ready in their drive-thru window for pickup.
That's Familia.
Clip, really?
Oh, sorry.
Familia on Fire Tower Road in Winterville near Pitt Community College.
Welcome to Russell's Spring Style. Our screen door says welcome to a beautiful selection of new apparel for men and women. The spring colors are bold and beautiful. Men, make your next suit or sport coat purchase easy with in-house alterations to assure a great fit. Ladies, it's Russell's for the best selection in dresses, tops, and slacks for most any occasion. Russell and Rhonda work hard to make Russell's in downtown Washington your shopping destination. It's all about you, our friends and customers at Russell's Clothing in downtown Washington.
I sailed out of the port of Bristol with sailors wearing black armbands.
Pirate Radio.
And found ourselves proclaimed notorious pirates.
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Russell's Clothing in downtown Washington has everything you need for game day or any other day for men and women. Whether it's dress casual or even a formal occasion, Russell's has you covered. They have served Eastern North Carolina and beyond for 40 years with quality clothing and personal service. Russell's Clothing on Main Street in downtown Washington. Pirates supporting pirates. Now let's head back in to PRL. Here is Clip Rock.
All righty. More to go here on Pirate Radio Live. Coming up at the end of this segment, your chance to call in and win, be a winner on this Wednesday. But right now, we'll head out to the Pirate Radio Live line and talk to Mark Armstrong, who joins us on the show to talk some hockey and a few other sports topics. Mark, great to have you back here on Pirate Radio. How you doing, man?
Thank you, man. I've missed you guys.
Yeah, and Mark, for folks that don't know, this is the first time we've had you on the show since you got out of the TV sports biz. So tell everybody what you've been doing these last couple of years.
17 years at ABC 11 in the Triangle as the lead sports anchor, and then May 24th of 2021 was my last day on the air, which was kind of good because May 24th is a big holiday up in Canada where I'm from, so that seemed fitting that I ended on that day. So yeah, we're coming up on 2 years out of the TV business, and what I'm doing now is I'm the owner of a WOW one-day painting franchise here in the Triangle. There's 3 of us here in the Triangle that cover the whole area, so it's all divvied up by zip codes. But yeah, I have teams of painters that go and paint houses now.
Interesting. And now you can sit back and be a sports fan just like you were before, and not have to cover it as news, I guess. Are you happy with the move you made? You like being out of the TV biz?
Well, I there are elements that I miss. I mean, as you probably would guess, that's the question I get most often. Do you miss it? Do you miss it? Do you miss it? And sure, there's like elements of it. Like it's like when you hear a professional athlete retire, they are always like, I'm at peace with not playing the game anymore, but I'll miss the locker room and the camaraderie, and that's kind of the same thing for me. Like I don't miss the mechanics of anchoring sports on TV at all, or going to the game and cutting packages after the game. No, I like am totally at peace with not doing that anymore. But you certainly miss palling around with everybody at the games and just that kind of stuff. So that's the way it feels to me. But it's amazing to me that it's already been 2 years since I've been doing it.
Yeah.
So that definitely time flies. And obviously when you do sports broadcasting your whole adult life and then suddenly decide you're going to own a painting company, that's a whole different set of challenges. And I've spent a lot of days feeling really dumb. A lot more days than I used to feel really dumb, but I definitely I'm starting to as more time goes by, less and less feeling dumb about this business.
Well, Mark, I wanted to get you on to talk some hockey. I've got a nice Rolodex of basketball, baseball, football people I can go to and talk about those sports. It's a little thinner when it comes to hockey. We really enjoy talking to Wade Minter, PA announcer, quite a bit here on the show. Mike Maniscalco joined us last week. We got a former Pirate Radio intern, Brooks Hill, who calls minor league hockey now, who's a big hockey guy. So I got a few, but Mark, I know you're in tune with it with your Canadian roots and also covering the Canes over the years. So let's talk about what happened last night in Raleigh. Game 5, Hurricanes lose it 3-2 to the Islanders. A little insult to injury, Mark. I don't know. Maybe this happens more often than I think, but a puck going off the face of Sebastian Aho doesn't even hit the ice. The opponent hits it in to the net. That's about the most disrespectful goal I've ever seen in a hockey game. That was brutal last night.
That's like if you're going to look at a red flag that this is not your night, your best player gets in the face, or certainly one of your best players catching one right in the mug that ricochets perfectly onto the stick of another guy who whacks it in for a goal. That's not your night. That's a pretty good indicator. And there were a couple other things too. A couple things went, the Islanders had that one that wrapped off both posts and out and stuff like that too. But I mean, I'll probably just echo what everybody else is saying that was watching that game. The Canes actually played really well, I thought, but sometimes that just isn't enough. And on the night when Sebastian Aho catches one in the face for a perfect assist to Brock Nelson, they just ended up on the wrong end of this one. But still confident that they're like significantly the better team despite all the firepower they're missing. So I think whether they close it out back on the island or it takes a Game 7 back here in Raleigh, I can't see them losing 3 straight and going out in the first round.
Mark Armstrong joining us, talking a little hockey. I was going to ask you about that, Mark. At what point do the injuries become too much for Carolina? And it was Andrei Svechnikov coming into this series. We saw Teuvo Teravainen go down early in the series, but it sounds like you still think, at least for this series, the Canes can get by without some studs.
Yeah, I think that's the way I'd put it exactly. They'll wade into much deeper shark-infested water in the next round, whomever they end up matching up against. But, I think it's just a testament to what Rod Brindamore brings to the team and his system and the way guys play for him, in that you can lose so much that they have, like the Pacioretty, the Svechnikov, the other injuries they've had, and plug in other guys who aren't as talented as those players who've lost. But just the effort and the system and the dedication to giving their all
still makes them an incredibly hard team to play against. And you can get Antti Ranta playing well in net, and and you've still got some guys like Aho who's out there producing and has a nice bug on his lip now. But they still got enough to beat the Islanders, I would say. Beyond that, I wouldn't say anything definitively. If they've got a fighting chance, I wouldn't call it a puncher's chance because they don't have many punchers on their team, but they've got a whole bunch of guys that'll bite your ankles for 60 minutes every game, and that gets annoying after a while.
Mark, I'll reference our chat once again with Wade Minter from a couple weeks ago. Just talked about how much of a monster this Eastern Conference is this year, and you look at the Canes, obviously, the Bruins and what they did, their historical numbers this year, but the team that comes out of the New Jersey-New York series, and then you got the Maple Leafs trying to wrap things up in their series with the Lightning coming up, who know a thing or two about championships. Those games are on Thursday night, but man, it is an absolute bear. And the Bruins, I guess, certainly would be the favorite here, but you can see any of these teams advancing, right?
Oh yeah, I mean the margins are so slim. We all thought the Bruins window had effectively closed. Like all of their best players, or so we thought, were on the wrong side of the age ledger when it comes to professional athletes. So you thought they were on their way out. You thought the Capitals were probably near the close of their window and they don't make the playoffs. But then the Bruins, just out of nowhere, obviously having an historic, most successful regular season ever, so they're beasts. I'm partial to the Leafs growing up in Toronto, but we're used to them folding up their tent in the postseason. After that Game 1 against Tampa, though, they've certainly looked pretty awesome since then, taking both games in Tampa. That comeback the last game was incredible with all the tip-ins. Whoever comes out is going to be bruised and bloodied, but will have earned it. And that's really what makes, all postseasons are great. NBA postseason is its best version, I think. But the NHL, relative to the regular season, where it's easy to just get caught up in the slog, I guess I would liken it to Major League Baseball in that way. There's not a lot of people who are going to pay attention to the NHL during the regular season for all 80 games. But when you get to the postseason, you can just see the level of intensity ratchet up, and the quality of play that you're watching is just pretty incredible night after night, and more often than not, it's just one goal, one way or the other, that decides it.
There are some great wars going on the eastern side of things. How about in the West, Mark? And I have seen highlights of a pretty electric atmosphere, which there are electric atmospheres everywhere, but out in Seattle with the Kraken experiencing some playoff hockey. That's been fun to watch, their home games, but their series is tied with the Avalanche. Saw a little bit of Kings and Stars last night, been following that. But how about in the West? What are the storylines? What are you following for the Western Conference right now?
I'm partial to, I want to see Connor McDavid close. He's just so individually brilliant, and Draisaitl is obviously a great player in his own right too, and they've just kind of been anchored to the rest of that team for so long. I would love to see them accomplish something of note because he's just far. He's an historically great player to play in the way modern hockey is played and to put up the point totals he did this year. I think things have loosened up a little from some of the years we've seen in years past, but that's what I'm invested in. I think the Seattle story is fun the same way Vegas was a couple of years ago, of course, too. So you like to see those. Seattle fans, they're sports fans. They know hockey, all this stuff. They're not like total neophytes to it, but it's just fun to see new fan bases get wrapped up into stuff like that. So those are the ones that I'm looking at. Obviously, the other teams that we know are good. That wouldn't be so exciting for me. I would love. I'm a McDavid fan, so I would love to see him break through.
Talking a little hockey here with Mark Armstrong today on Pirate Radio Live. Canes and Islanders will go at it once again coming up on Friday night, so we got a little wait there between Game 6 of that series. Mark, since I'm having you on, I had to think of some kind of Utah Utes question for you, and I'll frame it this way. Your thoughts on primetime in Colorado and what that means for the Pac-12, what it could mean for recruiting and where from a Utah perspective, your thoughts on Deion Sanders there in Colorado?
I think, and they've had 75% of their admittedly poor 1-11 roster from last year, but still, you got to have some kind of a base of players. So they've had 50 players transfer out, and I think we're all going to learn. And I've had a couple. Maybe this is shaded by a couple personal interactions I've had with them, professional interactions, just trying to interview them.
Yeah.
Deion likes nothing more than smelling his own farts. So I think Colorado is learning that in real time. I mean, he believes his own hype, and he's going to believe that he can get it done there. And maybe, you know, he did well at Jackson State, obviously, although they couldn't get past NC Central. But I don't know. I'm kind of watching this with glee, as you say, as a Utah fan. I think there's a 75 to 80% chance it goes drastically wrong there for the Buffaloes, and maybe a 20% chance that he captures lightning in a bottle and makes them into a contender.
I like it. Mark Armstrong joining us. Mark, you know, you stepped down with a lot less fanfare there in the Triangle than Mike Krzyzewski and Roy Williams, but it was around the same time. So everything happens in threes. Coach K, Roy, and Mark Armstrong stepping down. But how about since you have left, looking at what's going on in the Triangle right now with, you know, Hubert Davis went on that kind of, I don't know if it was a miracle, but a surprising Final Four run, and then a disappointment the following year. John Shire, boy, everybody loved Duke, myself included, going into the tournament, and they have a pretty early exit there, getting bullied by Tennessee. So how about Triangle basketball? East Carolina just added Cam Hayes, who played at NC State a couple years ago. So I don't know, what'd you think of the hoops, and really overall, since you've been out of it, been a lot of changes there.
Yeah, let's talk about ECU getting Bobby Pettiford too.
Yeah, I like Pettiford.
I know how much of an ECU hoops fan you are, so this is exciting times for you before you get to the Triangle. But yeah, definitely, obviously, the whole huge changing of the guard. And I tell all my distant relatives who ask that Coach K and Roy Williams did effectively, me leaving was the final straw. They did not see a way forward without being interviewed by me, so they decided now is the time to get out. But yeah, I think it's pretty clear that John Shire and the recruiting freight train that is Duke is not going to stop anytime soon. So he will have the players at his wherewithal, or at his disposal, rather, to put out their elite, talented players. And I think we've seen, certainly a positive beginning to that, of what John Shire can do. I think that there are more questions around Hubert, given the, I think fair to say, disaster that last season was. Whether it's his bench management that a lot of people talked about, all the transfers out, whether it's, not holding star players accountable when they're not performing. So I think with still Baycott and RJ Davis coming back, you've still got a big chunk of last year's team. So this will be an interesting year, I think, to watch in Carolina and how those guys, kind of the spine of the team, what they do, how they perform, and how Hubert is able to mold other guys around him. And obviously the transfer portal is going to be big for them too, the new guys they've brought in. So I think that's definitely an interesting storyline to watch this year. And then Kevin Keats looks to have grabbed some dogs out of the portal as well. So, the whole nature of college basketball is just so strikingly different now that every year is its own storyline.
Mark, you still look, if you follow Mark on Twitter, which you can do so at Mark P. Armstrong, and still talks a lot of sports on his page there, you would know that he has a great sense of humor. And we'll wrap it up here, Mark. Who are you mentioned interactions with Dion and not interviewing Coach K, Roy anymore. Who are your favorite guys over the years, if you had to make a short list, guys that could make you chuckle, enjoyed a joke, just didn't take themselves too seriously? Who are some of those guys in sports you really like talking to?
Yeah, there's in terms of the players and stuff, Julius Hodge was an absolute joy. There's been a lot of NC State guys that have come through that are, and maybe it's just the lack of a national microscope on them as much as UNC or Duke, where they open up more.
I bet you missed out on DJ Burns, by the way. He seems like a good one to talk to.
I did, yes. I'm sad I didn't get to interact with him more because he does seem like a joy. I'm sure there were a number of Duke players that are just great interviews, good guys to talk to. Of course, this is one of those things where, like, as soon as you're asked for like one or two, you can't think of any by name. I just see like this maze of faces in my adult 50-year-old brain that I can't bring a name forward specifically. But
how about any coach? Any coaches you could think of like that?
Yeah. Like all the coaches, Kay, and I think one story I tell people that is kind of counter to the profile that he has for a lot of people is everybody kind of looked at him as some imperious, Darth Vader type guy.
Yeah.
But he was calling me by name not 2 months after I arrived. when I'm just, some snot-nosed new guy at ABC 11. And he's like, because he would watch ABC 11 because he's a Durham guy, obviously, and that's where our main studio was. So yeah, he'd be like, "Hey, Mark," and I was always, taken aback, like, "Wow," because when you're new to it, you're just like, "That's Coach K," and then Roy Williams, I don't think knew who I was, and I'm not saying this is any kind of a negative to Roy because he's been a great guy in all my interactions with him by and large too, and always makes himself available when he didn't need to. But I don't think he would have been able to pick me out of a police lineup for the first 3 years. So that's one, and then like the Rod Brindamore is a great guy. The hockey guys, by and large, have been really good guys. I'm just trying to think of like a really good one. Anyway, you're catching me with my pants down, but
that one for next time when we chat. How about that? There's your homework.
Elliot Avent. I get Elliot Avent over at NC State. Was always awesome to talk to, and just as a regular dude, to just want to a guy you'd have a beer with. People like that, but there's great numbers. I mean, the numbers of people that were awesome to talk to over the years far outnumber the ones that weren't so great.
Yeah, that's cool. That's good to hear. Mark Armstrong joining us. Mark, appreciate it, man. Enjoy talking sports with you. Maybe we can do it again down the road. And for our Triangle audience or people in the surrounding area, if they want to, you got a paint job coming up. You want to plug your business one more time?
Yeah, Wow One Day Painting. We go as far right now as Wendell, and probably would take a job in Zebulon if it was worth it. But we're growing. There's 3 of us in the Triangle, like I say. I cover all the outlying areas where everybody's moving, the Fuquays, the Claytons, the Wake Forests, the Youngsvilles, the Rollsvilles. All those are my territory. So we're staying hopping because that's where the population is going around here.
Good stuff. Mark Armstrong, a little Canadian flair to the show. And by the way, coming up on Thursday, Marcus Crandall will join us, ECU great, who was a Grey Cup champion. And Dominique Davis will be on the show as well, another Pirate who went up to Canada. So we'll keep the Canada flair going the rest of the week, Mark. How about that?
I love it. Clip. Good talking with you, man.
Thank you, Mark. There is Mark Armstrong joining us here today on Pirate Radio Live and talking a little bit of everything there, including ECU hoops momentarily. And I saw Jamie on YouTube said, Bobby Pettiford better be close to a prophet as much as is being put on him. Well, let me calm that down and tell you that as a freshman, Bobby Pettiford averaged 1 point per game at Kansas. And his second year, he averaged 2 points per game. So, yeah, we're not getting LeBron here in Greenville, but we're getting a guy that I'm very excited about because I think he is going to, have a bigger role offensively, will be asked to do more things. I saw him in high school when he was the primary option on his team offensively and could definitely run the point, could shoot, could do a lot of things. Had a pretty big body for a guard, and I've watched him on TV. I hadn't seen him in person since then, but a pretty big body where he could go in and finish at the rim. So I think he is going to play a big role, be a big part to what ECU does moving forward. But yeah, if you're thinking we, as Jamie said, the expectations are too high for him, I'll run off his stats once again: 2 points a game, 1 assist a game, 1 rebound a game. So yeah, that it's about really expectations on what he can be and the improvements he's going to make this offseason. And we see Javon Small-like numbers from him go up from 1 point a game to 15 points a game or something like that. So I'm very excited about it, but I'm not trying to sell anybody a false bill of goods on Bobby Pettiford, because the numbers do not lie. I mean, he had a lot of studs around him, which is why those numbers are as low as they are. But he is a guy that I am very excited about, 30% shooting threes, and I want to see that number go up as well. All right, let's open up the booty bag here on a Wednesday.
Booty, 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 booty everywhere. Booty, 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 booty everywhere.
317-1250, the number on the Pirate Radio Live line. Shirley, what are we going to give away today?
A $10 gift card to AJ McMurphy's.
All right. You can join me tonight, 8 o'clock. You can join Chandler tonight, 8 o'clock. Sports trivia at AJ's. Looking forward to a fun NFL draft edition of Sports Trivia. What caller are you looking for?
6.
Caller 6, 317-1250. We're back to wrap up today's edition of Pirate Radio Live after this.
The best burgers around. Everyone loves a thick, juicy, and fresh burger. Tiebreakers in Greenville, plus the all-new Tiebreakers in Winterville, do real burgers better than anybody. So don't just go to any burger-themed restaurant chain. It's time to break the chain and eat local. Tiebreakers, real burgers at its best.
Everybody loves burgers.
UBE and PirateWear.com are proud to offer the Pirate Nation its largest inventory of ECU merchandise and tailgate supplies ever. UBE has the best prices in town, so that makes UBE your one-stop shop for all things ECU. UBE does daily restocks of Champion, Adidas, and Under Armour. Don't forget to bring your young pirates to plunder the Crow's Nest, which is the only kids store dedicated to ECU. Plenty of free parking in Uptown Greenville. Visit them online at PirateWear.com. Go Pirates!
Hey Wood Ducks fans, be sure to purchase your single game tickets online at woodducksbaseball.com. Have a big group? No problem. Book your group tickets by calling our front office at Granger Stadium. This year's schedule features the return of daily themes including Tribute Tuesday, Winning and Wind Down Wednesday, Thirsty Thursday, Mother Earth Friday, Pepsi Saturday, and Dogs and Dogs Day. Make sure to follow the Down East Wood Ducks on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Facebook so you don't miss anything. We hope to see you out at Granger Stadium all season long. Let's go Woodies!
It's bow time. Sometimes the craving for Bojangles Supremes is so strong you've just gotta have them. Even when your gas tank is on empty and Bojangles is still 10 miles down the highway. Nothing beats the flavor of Bojangles' juicy golden Supremes, especially when they're part of a perfect combo with 4 boldly seasoned chicken Supremes, a made-from-scratch biscuit, fixin', and some legendary iced tea. The only thing that can satisfy your hunger is that delicious southern flavor. So when the craving is supreme, put the pedal to the metal. It's bow time.
East Coast Grading and Utilities is your source for clearing, hauling dirt, and concrete work. East Coast Grading and Utilities handles all sewer and water issues as well.
I'm David Vaughn. Whether putting in a new subdivision or helping you with any and all of your drainage problems, I can get the job done. Call me at 531-7494.
No job is too big or too small. East Coast Grading and Utilities. Friends helping friends. 531-7494 for East Coast Grading and Utilities.
Saturdays are your day to kick back, relax, and have fun. That's why Ottavola Market Cafe is the perfect place to go for dinner, drinks, and takeout. Ottavola is open every Saturday at 4 p.m. on the bar side, serving a special selection of menu favorites of appetizers, pastas, and specialty pizzas. Whether it's dine-in, takeout, or drinks with friends, Ottavola is the best choice every Saturday starting at 4 o'clock. Visit OttavolaMarket.com to see what's new, and visit Ottavola on Red Banks Road every Saturday starting at 4. Ottavola, Pirates supporting Pirates.
Before you hit the road this travel season, be sure to get your tires inspected by the tire guys at Greenville Auto World. The Greenville Auto World service team sells all the top brands and economy tires if you need a new set. Need an oil change, state inspection, or AC repair? Greenville Auto World can work on any type of vehicle, and the monthly oil change special is only $29.99. Make an appointment now by calling 364-8730. For award-winning service, trust Greenville Auto World.
With over 30 locations across North Carolina and southeastern Virginia, Quality Equipment is your local John Deere dealer, where you'll find everything you need for your next project. Our complete lineup of John Deere lawn and garden, agricultural, and commercial worksite equipment comes with years of experience, expertise, and dedication. We know what it takes to get it done right. Stop by today or visit us online at qualityequip.com.
Pirate radio sounds different.
Different is good. You are all the same. You'll be ashamed.
Because different is good.
Oh, yeah.
Pirate radio.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding Pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Ease Plumbing, Viva Electric, and Roland Black Heating and Cooling have teamed up to form New Blue Service Group, offering Eastern North Carolina the best in plumbing, electrical, and HVAC services. Same great local team, same great local service, just a new name. For plumbing, electrical, and HVAC services, go to callnewblue.com. That's callnublue.com. New Blue Service Group, where we are redefining service excellence. And congratulations to Susan Deans of Greenville. Picked up a $10 gift card to AJ's, the best place in Greenville to unwind after work is and have fun is AJ's. They have daily food and drink specials and an awesome patio, perfect for some outdoor dining. And there's something for everyone every weeknight, including sports trivia with Clip Brock. AJ's has live music every Friday and Saturday with no cover, and brunch every Sunday. Make today an AJ's day. Now let's head back into PRL. Here's Clip.
All right, some massive individual performances last night in the NBA playoffs. Trae Young had 38, including a long dagger to beat the Celtics to extend that series into a Game 6. Also, the Joker, Jokic last night, 28 points, 17 rebounds, 12 assists, a playoff triple-double. In the Nuggets win over the T-Wolves, 47 for Devin Booker as they closed out their series. The Suns did against the Clippers. Coming up tonight, Buccaneer Music Hall Scoreboard presented by the Bucks.
The Buck.
Knicks look to close out their series against Cleveland. 7 o'clock, NBA TV. On TNT, the Lakers can close out their series in Memphis against the Grizz. It'll be the Heat at the Bucks at 9:30 on NBA TV. Jimmy Butler and the Heat trying to close it out on the road. And maybe the best series going, Warriors-Kings tied at 2 games apiece, 10 o'clock tonight on TNT in Sacramento. We will see you Thursday, 3 o'clock for an all-new edition of Pirate Radio Live. We will talk some baseball with Brandon Manning. Also, Mark Brown, CamdenChat.com to talk about the Red Hot O's. We'll play Name That Sound. We'll be joined by Marcus Crandall, and Dominique Davis will join us on the show as well. A big Thursday edition of Pirate Radio Live is on tap. NFL Draft Day. That'll be fun. For Shirley Rhodes, Chandler Honeycutt, I am Clip Rock. We'll see you folks tomorrow. Jeff Charles, take